Saturday, December 9th, and we are back. The entire crew, mostly superheroes, is here in St. Louis, Missouri, in the studio for the Season 4 finale in the best of 2023, our most jam-packed episode yet for the OG fans that have been here since the beginning. Back to TV, back to film, back to movies, back to guests, back to fans, and a huge surprise cameo coming at you in this episode. So excited to celebrate the year for you and look ahead to 2024. But before we do that, let's get right into it. We got Danny Patron, Sam the Sleeper, the Giggler, Scotty Scoop. I'm Logan, and this is Mostly Superheroes. Hello and welcome to Mostly Superheroes. In 2024, we're going to aim to be at least a monthly pursuit for the world's best stories, so we might as well try to start it now. Andy, a throwback to your good friend, Mr. Giggler, John Cena.
The man.
The man. Giggler, welcome back, sir. We're just going to go around the table, get right into it. We have so much to talk about on the podcast today. A Saturday morning, doing this thing right. Giggler, how are you?
I'm great. I love the Saturday AM vibes. It's a good. I like the pre-show breakfast. It's a new thing.
Shout out Starbucks.
Yeah.
Shout out Starbucks.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm
The
pumped.
Starbucks really need a shout out.
Yeah,
I think people know at this point.
That's on the phone. We'll just mix it up. Danny Patron, how you doing, Danny?
Howdy. I'm good. I didn't make it to Starbucks, but I did make it to my coffee pot just in time to brew some before I got here, so ready to roll. Lots to talk about. Excited.
Very cool. I like that you drink coffee like me and like Scotty Scoop. There he is.
I got my caramel macchiato iced. Thank you very much. I feel like I just finished a bowl of cereal and watched some Saturday morning cartoons, and I'm ready to roll.
That is the vibe I have right now.
Yes.
Like that Saturday morning, like we're just
Like
all
just sitting like a foot from the TV, watching the DuckTales or the Gargoyles or whatever it is that the kids watch these days. I don't know what it is.
and
Didn't you hate
Bluey.
setting up your alarm then to like wake up for like you knew you had to do it, but you're like,
Yeah.
it's not a school day, but I gotta wake
I
up.
gotta
This is
get up.
important.
New Transformers happening.
That's how I
Yeah.
felt like that last night going to bed. I was like, do not miss the alarm. Don't panic. You got to get up and record with the boys. And speaking of the boys, welcome to the episode, one of our sponsors of today's episode from Team Jakey, Sam the Sleeper.
Thanks for having me. I almost need a new nickname at this point. Not the sleeper, maybe like the alternate, the reserve.
I don't know. I mean,
Get me off the bench, coach.
you're
I
off
love
the
it.
you're off the bench. You're back in. You're here
I
again for
love it.
many times this year and for the season finale.
Yeah, I mean, I made it a little bit last year, but yeah, in person this year, I am pumped. Let's do this thing. Beautiful Saturday morning.
Beautiful Saturday morning, and this is where we have one of those big jam-packed episodes. We do want to keep it moving today. We have so much to cover, and it's a real highlight of our patron pre-show. That's right. You pay that extra as little as $1 a month, as much as you want, really. There's no cap. You can really pay us any amount that you want. You get that exclusive content, the show before the show, and today was really special. We did our catch-up. If you want to know what we've been up to personally in our lives, Sam shared some big news that coming out, and it's all in that Patreon, that patron exclusive on Patreon at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. You can find all the ways to get that exclusive content there. And thank you to the fans that are joining us live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, X. Yeah, it's still weird calling it X. And not Trovo. Trovo's down. Trovo's not doing it. It doesn't like Streamlabs anymore. It's still in the list for Streamlabs, but it's like, I can't touch that right now. Okay. Everyone else, though, is here live. Thanks to the fans that are being here. Hello, welcome. The catch-up that I want to do is to get right into some juicy stuff. Scotty Scoop, you had a trip, And the Scoops did Disney.
We did do Disney. Disney, Universal, huge trip. Halloween, we did the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We did the Universal Hollywood Horror Nights. 4 different parks in 5 days. And, you hear a lot about like, oh, it's so expensive. Do I really want to spend the money? Listen, spend the money.
It was a real deal.
This was the real deal.
You and the family on the road. You guys had a week. It was like 5 nights, 6 nights.
It was 5 nights. So we got up early. We got up at 3:30 on a Sunday morning and caught a plane at 6 a.m. We got to Orlando. We had a ride to the Disney. We stayed at the Contemporary, which is Disney property, right next to the Magic Kingdom. We had tickets to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party that night, so we drug ourselves to the park at 4 o'clock, just tired, wore out. Got up at 3:30. Me, Shanna, 3 kids. As soon as we stepped into that park, game on. You can feel the magic here.
Like you were tired. You're tired. You got the travels, but then like the moment you're there, the
second
energy.
You walk through that gate, and it's just a different world.
And we're sharing the visuals. This is where we plug our video. You can watch us on Facebook, on Spotify. We got people in the chat. Ryan on Facebook let us know that the stream was not hearing us for a minute, so I think I just fixed that. And we'll hopefully you guys let us know in this chat. Thanks for being here. You can see the visuals of Scotty, Scoop, and the family's trip. Holy cow!
We're good now per Ryan. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan really. There we go. Got the sound.
Ryan for real.
Ryan for real. Thanks, man. He really just helped us out
with the save.
Yeah, that means that they didn't hear the very beginning intro, which was all the highlight that you need to know is go to mostlysuperheroes.com/support.
It was a perfect intro.
It was a perfect intro. One take, but Scotty, you guys had a good time.
We had a great time, man. This was
I'm
phenomenal.
a guy that hasn't been to Disney ever. I'm one of those people still. 34, have not.
Yeah.
Giggler, have you been?
Yeah, I went a few years ago.
Of course you did. You've been to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Sam the Sleeper, have you been to Disney? Big theme parks?
When I was very, very little.
Very little. Okay, so
that was my story too. I hadn't been since I was 13, 14, so 30 years going back. And as someone who's lived just a few miles away from Six Flags St. Louis his whole life, like this is culture shock. The place is clean. Everyone there is so nice and helpful. A lot of the rides were just fantastic.
Wow.
What a great experience.
Worth it. Like, that's one of those things where you do it, you go, you come back, you're
just spend the money.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again.
You got to plan for it.
You got it, man. This was probably a year and a half of saving and planning.
Which parks did you go to, Scott?
Went to Magic Kingdom. We went to Hollywood Studios. We went to Universal Studios. And then we went to Universal Studios Island of Adventure.
Did you do Rise of the Resistance?
I did do Rise of the Resistance. It was great.
That's awesome.
Danny knows. Sorry, I didn't ask Dan. Dan's been there. You know the place. It sounds like.
Yeah, I've been there a bunch. One of my dad's friends had the hookup, so I went with a tour with an actual Disney guide one time, and you can't go back once you do that because you just walk on every ride. It was amazing, and I'm like, now I can't go back to Disney. This broke me. This was too nice.
It's too nice. It's too
it's
good.
Extremely
it's
expensive.
This is way different than Six Flags St. Louis.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
for
a great comparison.
But
some of the highlights, all the Star Wars rides and Tron. Dan, did you get to ride Tron?
No, it wasn't. That and Guardians wasn't open when I was there last year.
We didn't go to Epcot, so I didn't get to see Guardians. But
yeah,
Tron was an experience, man. That's a different type of roller coaster.
The Avatar ride's really cool too in Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Well, Scott, thanks for sharing.
I have to go back.
Thanks for sharing, and I'm glad that you and Shanna and the kids had a great time.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you guys planned that for so long, and you guys worked so hard, and even the kids, nowadays are busy to be able to stop and take time just to go have fun with the family. Yeah. Good for you guys.
Took a week off school.
And fans, yeah, exactly. Fans and listeners and watchers tuning in. We want to bring that experience to you because you're like me. You've never been. Now you're hearing a little bit about it. You can see these visuals and consider trying to go in the future. It looks like a really fun time. We got to shout out Whatchu Eatin', one of our unofficial sponsors of today's episode, only because I haven't talked to them about it, but they're close friends of the show. Gonna shout them out. We're going there today. The Gramophone.
Yeah.
Sandwiches, beers, great times in the Grove in St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. I have the wrong link in here, but I like to plug this company too. Four Hands Brewery. I mean, they're part of today's episode today too, always. So great St. Louis businesses always showing up for this indie podcast. And with that, let's get into you guys some fan mail.
Fan mail.
Hey, we had a question in the chat, Scotty, for you. Did you visit the Mad Hatter's shop to get your name on your ears at Disney?
I did not. Only my my 10-year-old was the only one who got ears, and she did not personalize them.
Okay, kind of a letdown story, but Ryan, at least you got your answer. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. Scotty, fix that next time.
Yes.
For the fan mail, you can join us in the Mostly Superhero Squad. That's our Facebook and Twitter X groups. Totally inclusive, free, private. Once you're in, you can post anonymously. You can call us at 754-CALL-LOG. Text us at 754-225-5564. We want to hear from you. We're going to be hearing from all sorts of folks today, starting with Will M. That's Will M.64 on Instagram. Commented on a post and said the Batman Lego movie is awesome. I had posted and said I watched it a few months ago, and he sent this second really nice message. Hey, Logan, just messaging to give some positive feedback for all the amazing stuff you do. Please keep up the good work. Can't wait for the next episode. Super nice. Thanks, Will M. On Instagram. And then we have, I believe, the same person, willm.exe on TikTok, called Tracksuit Turtle. This person lives in the UK. Same person from before. Sent us a message on the website. Said, love the show, guys. Listening from the UK. Wish I could go to the Screen and Social. Keep up the great work. Best podcast I've ever listened to.
Wow.
That's high praise.
You're patting me on the back. I'm patting you on the back.
No,
patting you guys on the back.
Best.
That's everybody. Tracksuit Turtle, Will M.
Fly
Thank
that
you.
guy in. Come on.
I know. Screen and Social 2024. Tracksuit Turtle. Think about June. Could you get to the U.S. in June?
Yeah.
You know, we're eyeing it again.
Deadpool 3.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Scotty called the movie last year.
Oh,
it
I
might
like
happen
that.
again.
I like that.
All right, more
Yeah.
fans to feature. Going to keep it moving. Jmar, that's jmar.music on TikTok, commented on our clips from The Flash. We have a few, this is all about The Flash, these next few slides, okay? You guys remember that movie.
Let's go.
They made a great Flash film with the circumstances they were given. It was dope. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So, on a 4.0 scale, I'd have to give it a 3.3.
Somebody who knows the scale.
Someone that knows the scale.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, jmar.music
I like that.
on TikTok. We also have Timothy on TikTok. That's TM0THY_ on TikTok. It's fine. Still talking about The Flash. I wouldn't call it particularly good, but I would watch it high on a weekend like most of the Snyder movies, bad MCU movies. So he's still throwing it on when he's at home having a good time. And we appreciate you, Timothy, on TikTok. He also, we also had JMK, that's Jacob Stickyland on TikTok. I don't know. I love The Flash. I don't care about CGI movies that much. So the CGI didn't bother this guy. He was just fine. So thank you guys to our fans on TikTok and Instagram for showing up with the comments. A lot of different opinions on The Flash still.
I'm in the bag. I liked it.
Still loving it.
Still like.
Where you at?
I still like it
Still-
too. It's
where you-
a good time.
I still enjoyed it. Just the
Batman parts.
Keaton part was a bit. of
We're
a
still
letdown.
mad. We're still mad about the
I'm
trailers.
Still mad about it, but this man, he deserves everything.
That's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And shout out PC Mike for Michael Keaton in our studio.
buddy.
Still.
You
Love
want
you,
to
buddy.
get nuts?
Sure.
Let's get nuts.
All right, we're going to give away some stuff. We're going to give away some
Oh,
stuff.
we're giving stuff away.
We're going to give some stuff
All
away.
right.
Okay. Fans that have been entering contests that have been showing up. We did a couple great events. We did more than a couple great events this year. One of them was the Screen and Social. We also donated some gift baskets to some great events. Team Jakey's annual cornhole tournament. And we had a winner from there win our content coupon. I
Yep.
believe, is this your guy?
That's my guy. That's
Go ahead.
my big boss.
Go ahead.
CFO.
You
Dan Pimmel.
Dan Pimmel.
Danny boy.
This is
Yes.
a huge prize. You get to pick, in essence, what we talk about on the podcast. So we can blow it out as much as you want. You know, typically our fans every day are giving us what you watchins. Dan, you get to pick the meat.
The meat.
The feature. We want it to probably be like something that's like a single watch for all of us. So maybe like a movie or a special, something that could happen in like in one day.
Right.
And then we'd love to have you on, Dan, to talk on the pod. We could dial you in. We could do Zoom. We can figure that out. And the same prize from the Huntington's disease event that you do, golf tournament.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Giggler.
Mason Sander.
Mason Sander. Is it Sander or Sanders?
Sander.
Oh, great.
No S. It's okay.
I know
I
another.
love. What's funny is that his at the same golf tournament, his little sign-in name on our cart said Mason Sandler. We just call him the Sandman all day. But yeah, he doesn't know what he's gonna have yet, but he said he's gonna have my sister on too, so it's gonna be a family affair.
Oh man, nice.
Go.
This is awesome. This is your brother-in-law, you said.
Yes, future brother-in-law.
Future brother-in-law. If everything goes okay.
Yeah,
Right.
say
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. Success rate on this
Not put the
about,
cart before the horse here.
about 50-50.
Yep.
The horse before the cart.
I don't know.
All right, so Mason and Dan, we can't wait to feature your meat. That'll be the first time we do fan features of our fans' meat on the podcast in 2024, and we can't wait. And we want to give away more stuff. Giggler wanted to give away Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on vinyls. You can bet your ass we'll be giving away more vinyls next year as well. Andy, go ahead and announce the winner of the vinyl.
Oh, Michael Key,
Ooh!
friend of the show.
Been on the show.
He better be listening right now. He might be
Wake
sleeping
up.
still.
Wake up, Mike.
He's been on the show.
Yeah,
Fast and Furious. We got an episode coming. I mean, that part 2 of Fast 10 is coming out probably this year. It's going to be the time.
He's
Yes.
subject matter expert, right?
Yes, he is.
He is. Just
he'll
listen to
be
our
back.
4-hour episode. And also we had, thanks again to our sponsors, Team Jakey, who are giving away one of the excellent T-shirts from the Screen and Social event. You guys had the custom tee. Why don't you go and do us the honors of announcing the winner?
Amy Exley.
Woo!
It's my sister-in-law.
Look at this. The in-laws making it.
Bam.
Oh, my God.
You guys are just trying to get good for Christmas.
Yeah,
For sure.
pretty
She'll
much.
rep these. This was a cool shirt. Come on.
Amazing shirt. I wear it all the time. I really do. Amy, congratulations. And Sam, I'm going to put it on you to make sure Amy gets her shirt.
She'll get it.
Dope. I wear that shirt all the time.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
I mean, I can't believe how much we just covered in fan mail. Should we get into news?
Let's go.
News and rumors.
Hi, Keegan. I see you there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got some
that's-
more comments.
That's your daughter.
Yeah.
She's in. We got all sorts of
Killing it.
comments in the group. We got Will in here. Oh, Will in the UK says, thanks for the shout out. It's 3 p.m. his time right now on Saturday.
Wow.
He's just hanging out in the afternoon watching us. Really
Awesome.
appreciate you, Will. In the news, Scotty Scoop, I'm going to cover this first one. This is mine. Smallville fans, get ready. This is a little bit for you from Screen Rant. This is one of those that I came across on the internet. Could not believe it. I am a diehard Smallville fan. I've seen the full 10 seasons 4 times probably. And this comes out of Screen Rant that there was an original plan. If you're familiar with the show, full spoiler alert. This is a full spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Smallville, just fast forward like 1 minute. Chloe Sullivan on the show was apparently supposed to be Lois Lane at one point.
Makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
her name's Chloe in the show. It was like she was a reporter. The idea was they would go to high school together, and then eventually she would like create an alias.
Yeah.
And she was like in love with him in the show. It added up, but like I had never like put that together as a fan because like I've seen this show so many times. And apparently this all came around a rights thing, of course, with like DC and the rights to Lois Lane, like the name itself. So the idea was they said you can use Lois Lane in the Smallville show for an episode or 2. And Chloe, so that's why they held like Chloe in the back pocket. This never came to fruition. Thought it was cool. That's a little Smallville tidbit for you. Totally not even news or rumors. Just kind of me fanning out about a show that I like. That's the news for me. Scotty Scoop, tell us about what's going on in with from Screen right here. Jonathan Majors, the big scandal, MCU. He got in trouble. There was a possible assault with his girlfriend. We don't know if it's true. He's been in court. It's in trial. Are they going to go a different route from Kang the Conqueror or not?
It all signs point to heading in a different direction. I don't think there's ever been anything official yet, but it's not looking good for Kang. I think in spoilers for Loki,
Nice.
they kind of wrapped him up in a bow to where if he doesn't come back, at least anytime soon, might not be a big deal.
That's a good non-spoiler too, because it's vague enough. You don't really have to know what happened in the show to know that like they did kind of try to.
He's kind of on and off the table.
Yes,
he's
in it. He's in it.
They could go in either direction. He was in it. He was fantastic at it.
Of course.
But for right now, it's I think they've got a real opportunity here to turn the page if they want to.
Yes, and I know in the case itself, reading this article from Screen Rant, the trial is very much ongoing. It's
like
not,
today,
this
week.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's been
is
going on.
It's like right now.
Yeah.
So more to come. All right. Sad news. Legend. Friends.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. I think he'd appreciate it more than
they
ever.
They were there for me.
I'm going to give it up for this guy. It's sad, but I got to give it up for the guy, his whole life, his career, Matthew Perry. Go around. Go ahead, Scotty.
Just an unfortunate accident. I mean, what can you say? I don't know about
that was it.
If you're,
I think that was everybody the moment it happened.
Yeah.
It was that kind of pause of, all right, what do we know about Matthew Perry?
Yeah, like
an amazing actor.
Say that I didn't see it coming.
Right. It's like it's a mixed bag too, and we don't even know exactly how he died. I believe it's pretty much like this mysterious circumstances, and there's maybe no drugs or alcohol related at all. Which why do I even say that? Because Matthew Perry he openly had struggles with these things his whole life, his whole career. So whenever you hear this, your mind kind of goes to, oh, that's what happened.
Absolutely.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We do not know. The fact is, this man died at 54, way too early.
Super young.
And obviously is just a cultural icon in
the
in the United States at minimum, So R.I.P. That I'm a massive, huge inspiration to me growing up. Hilarious, Sam or Dan.
Yeah, it was weird. My girlfriend and I were actually watching all of Friends in order when this happened, because we were, I like to have something to kind of wind down in the evening of like lighthearted comedy, something I've seen before. So we were going from start to finish through Friends. It's her favorite show. And this happens, and it was like so jarring that we were in the middle of doing that. So,
yeah, I mean, just like getting into like the everyday people that live in this country watching Friends. That's a unique experience for you guys.
Yeah,
it's like you're in the middle watching Friends, and one of the main characters dies in real life. That's weird.
It was sad.
I also watched a movie that didn't make it into the program today. That Friends was a big part of it. You just watched this movie too with Julia Roberts on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind.
And without any spoilers or anything, Friends plays like a part in this random movie. And this is yesterday, so it's top of mind. Friends. When is Friends not top of mind? Like our friend group, Scotty.
Yeah.
Literally plays games every Friendsgiving that's Friends centric.
Themed,
Yes, like our friends Jen and Aaron, big fans of the show, friends of the show, put together a Friends themed game show with like their friends, our friends now, history. And if you remember, like Ross and Chandler and Joey would always do those games with like the Friends itself. So it's like
trivia.
It's made
trivia about the friend
it's
group.
It's literally made it into our yearly routines. It's not like just a show that we like. It's,
the show was embedded in your life.
Exactly. So R.I.P. Matthew Perry. Super sad. All right, turn it up a little bit. Comicbook.com casting rumor in the MCU. Reed Richards could be Scott. Give it to me, Giggler.
Please be it.
Say it.
This has to be it.
Say his
Reed
name.
Richard. Oh, sorry. Pedro Pascal.
Are you paying attention, Andy?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I just got excited.
We're in the podcast,
dude. I just got excited. Like this news just randomly came out when we're just all sitting on our couches one night, and Pedro Pascal would be, I feel like, a great Reed Richards. Obviously, he's not a person I feel like we have seen in a lot of the fan casts that ended up in John Krasinski, but I'm here for this.
Scotty,
you guys agree?
Was it you that posted that picture of Pedro Pascal and all the different characters?
Yes, as all the Fantastic Four characters. Yeah,
it got me for a second. I'm like, these all look striking. Oh, those are all Pedro.
I'm still mixed feelings on like casting announcements because to me it's still like this spoiler type thing. I'm like, I just want to see like the movie and I'll be like, who's it gonna be? Like, I just don't want to know. But Pedro, I mean, of course, awesome. Last of Us, it's gonna come up today. All right, let's keep it moving. Another casting rumor. This is from comicbookmovie.com. Fantastic Four again, looking at Galactus. Javier Bardem. Who is that? That's
No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men. Black hair down to the chin.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Carrying around the cattle.
Can anyone do his voice? It'd be like,
man,
I am Galactus.
Yeah.
I mean, Galactus is a
I
very
don't know.
specific voice, so we'll see.
Dune, yeah, he was in Dune.
He was in Dune. Okay, so we'll see. That might happen. This is some updates from Marvel.com. Marvel Studios' theatrical release schedule has been updated. Obviously, I believe now, can we say that the strike is over?
Actor strike is over.
Writer's strike
Writer strike is over.
is over. We'll just give it up.
Yeah.
Because that was like 6 months.
yeah.
It seems like they got what they wanted.
They got what they wanted, probably the best deal in the world if they were able to settle, I hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cha-ching. What does that mean for us, regular folks? Stuff is coming out. Also, stuff is getting dates. Marvel Studios tells us Untitled Deadpool movie, it's not Untitled, it's Deadpool 3, was supposed to come out in May of 24. Now it's July of 24. Not that big of a deal.
My birthday.
That's July 26th?
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Nice.
birthday early.
All right.
Captain America Brave New World was supposed to come out in July of 24. Now it's moved to February 25. Thunderbolts. MCU. All this is MCU. It was originally 12/24, now July 25, and then Blade. This is definitely one of my most anticipated films, even though sounds like they're just redoing it again. Like the new one that they made, they're like redoing it.
Scrapping it.
Previously was supposed to come out February 25, now coming out November 25. So at least still in the same year, but
Well,
definitely
originally supposed to come out a month ago.
right. I saw
Yeah.
Brandon Davis, and you said something too, but Brandon
Yeah.
Davis tweeted like from comicbook.com Phase Zero podcast. This was the day Blade was supposed to come out.
Yep.
Everybody watched Blade at home, and a bunch of people watched Blade. The original Blade, of course.
New Blade video game coming.
Oh, really?
That looks
Yeah.
very cool.
That would be
They
sick.
had the Game Awards on Thursday night, and they showed a nice little teaser trailer.
All right.
for Blade video game.
I didn't flush out the game category like all the other fun categories we're going to do in the meet today because the meet's only the best of 2023 today. But I did make a little video game category, one slide only. So have in your head if you have a video game. That's
All right.
I'm talking to you co-host right now. We'll do it at the end. Trailers. We're just going to fly through these trailers. Game of Thrones.
Hot
House.
D2.
Hot D2. House of the Dragon. The trailer's here. The show is coming. You guys remember when? That's going to be the big thing with all these is when.
I think it's mid next year.
Okay,
right. Summer 2024 is what it said. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
trailer.
that's what it's got down there.
The trailer's out there. Go see it. Fallout Prime.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
This is
not
news
wait
to
for
me.
this? Yeah.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
That's probably one of my favorite video game
Oh, yeah.
franchises.
And now there's a trailer
Hands down.
for a TV
And
show
now-
or a movie?
and it's a TV show on Amazon. Coming out soon, April.
Do you know
April.
who's in it?
It's okay if not. Fallout.
Yeah.
I got it. I got
some,
it. Hold on.
Some no names. There's one name. He was in Justified. I do believe.
Oh, was he in The Mandalorian?
Uncle Baby Billy from
Oh yeah.
It-
Walter Goggins.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
he plays a irradiated guy.
Sweet. I can't wait
He's
to
a
watch that.
zombie guy.
That'll be awesome.
All right,
Yeah.
new trailer for The Boys season
Boys
season
4.
Yep.
Gen V just ended. This trailer comes out for season 4. The Boys, Eric Kripke and the folks at Amazon are doing it, okay? This is a great show. It's a great show. MCU, new trailer for Echo is out.
Echo. All episodes dropping January 10th.
January 10th. That's coming right around the corner, and this is going to happen on Disney Plus and Hulu. It's official. Disney bought Hulu, so Disney's definitely taken over. First of all, it's a big buy, and you're going to start seeing a Hulu tab in your Disney Plus app. You're going to start seeing a Disney Plus app in your Hulu app. If that wasn't confusing. All right, next up, Madam Web. Oh my God, I watched this. Madam Web trailer's out. I see Dan's face. Dakota Johnson and some other gals that are playing Spider-Man type people with like I saw the trailer, spoiler alert for the trailer, a Spider-Man type villain. You got like Spider-Man type things, but then like things that have nothing to do with Spider-Man. I don't think there's a Spider-Man in the movie. Maybe there is. What universe is this? This is Sony. So
Yeah, we got the Sony.
It was a mess of a trailer, in my opinion. I had no idea what was going on.
But
But it could be good. I don't-
Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
paused
you
it
like
there.
Sydney Sweeney? Dan, what'd you think?
Yeah, there was so
Okay.
much going on, and I'm like, Sony's just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks, I guess, with this universe between Kraven and that and Venom. And I'm like, you have great characters, but you can't capture that magic that Marvel has and Disney.
And Andy,
This-
literally wearing a Amazing Spider-Man T-shirt. 'Tis the season to be amazing.
Amazing.
Did you see the trailer?
Unamazing. This trailer was unamazing. That's for sure.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It-
I think this is going to be probably a bust. But what would you expect from the Sony
Well,
from the Sony
It's-
movies?
you know what
That's kind
Sony
of-
does? Sony's like, okay, if they can make that Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, we can do anything. You know, because there's no Batman in it. You know, and then I don't know. Could you make a show like about Lex Luthor? Like, I just don't know. Like with no Superman. Like this is like that's the Sony problem. It's like this, and it's all about rights, and we all know it.
Yeah,
like we all know
we have the rights
Yes.
to all these Spider characters.
Yeah.
But if we just keep pumping out Spider-Man movies, people are gonna get tired.
But then
So
you get
we'll
into
just nickel and dime this stuff.
you get in this realm of all these low-level characters that no one really. There's no identification with any of these characters. I feel like we're getting in the low pool, maybe.
Yeah, right, exactly. We move on from some of even the top tier villains, and we're like,
Thank
what
you,
about
that's
this alternative spider person? And you're like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
He's the night monkey from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Is the villain. I have heard rumors that the MCU and Sony are going to do like some merge, and we've already seen evidence of this with like the in credit scenes. I won't say any specifics, but like in credit scenes for Morbius, in credit scene for MCU film Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
You watch these things, I mean, they are definitely talking to each other. There's definitely some conversation. So, fingers crossed from my book. And the new trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Paul Rudd. This is the sequel to that. Yes, awesome. The what was I forgot, Afterlife? Was that the first one?
Afterlife. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Remember the one with Kristen Wiig and Leslie Jones?
Yes, unfortunately.
Bad.
Unfortunately.
Not good. Okay. Nothing
to do with it being ladies. It
No.
just
No.
was
Well,
really
why'd you even
cheesy.
say it? Why'd you even say
It was
it?
really
Now we-
cheesy
now we
because
gotta
that's what
talk
everybody
about it.
says. And
Right,
I was
no.
like,
Now
no, this is like a bad Scooby-Doo movie.
It was, but these are good. Ghostbusters Afterlife,
Yeah.
and now a sequel is how I think about it. Is like Frozen Empire. The trailer looks sick.
Looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt.
All right, the last Airbender. Who's ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
You sent this over. Trailer's out for it. It's happening. And then Andy, I know you're pumped about this DC flick coming up. New trailer for Aquaman 2 and the Lost Kingdom.
Why do you say I'm excited for it?
Oh, we'll talk about it at best of. Let's save it. Let's just
Okay.
save it. So that's out
Okay.
there. All right, Mad Max Saga. There's a
Furiosa.
Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Oh my, a movie.
This is a prequel to the last Mad Max movie.
I love the Mad Max stuff. Chris Hemsworth's in
Chris
this. is in this?
Hemsworth, man, like
Anna, what's that say? Anna Taylor.
Taylor-Joy.
Is that
She She was in New Mutants.
Yeah.
What else?
sounds extremely familiar?
Yeah, she played
She's-
Magic in New Mutants
Yeah,
with
very
the sword.
She was
unique
in
looking.
the chess show.
Yeah,
on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm blanking
Yeah,
on the name.
Oh,
Queen's
Queen's
Gambit.
Gambit.
Yeah,
And
that's who I thought that
She was the
Yeah.
voice of Peach in Super Mario this
Yep.
year.
Nice. Good job, guys. Good job, team. Furiosa. That trailer's out there for you. New trailer for Zack Snyder's Star Wars movie, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, coming to Netflix in December. No, that's old. That's
no.
old.
This is
That's
No.
old. That says 22. Oh, December
no,
22nd.
December
Yeah.
22nd.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, you got better labels.
It's early.
Better labels.
It's early.
Hey, I didn't
It's
see the
Saturday
poster.
morning.
Oh.
I've only had half of this coffee. Rebel Moon. I mean, a Star Wars movie.
It's not Star Wars. It was
yeah.
pitched as a Star Wars movie, and
So-
they turned it down.
Tell us.
But he just made it anyway.
So what is it?
It's a
It
new
was
thing.
too
it's its own
adult.
thing.
According to him, it was too adult to be a Star Wars movie, so he made it in its own universe. And it's like the way he describes it is like, what if Star Wars was rated R? So it's like Star Wars inspired, but more of adult themes is kind of how he's been
So like
describing
space-
it.
like
but it
spa-
looks cool,
like
yeah,
Spaceballs.
Space.
Exactly.
Almost exactly like
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
All right.
Yeah.
It's Spaceballs too.
Yeah.
All right, Snyder, let's see what you got there. That sounds good. Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, new trailer out there for you
Man,
somewhere. I love these movies.
I love these movies as
Yep.
well, and I saw the trailer on the big screen, and man, this looks great.
I'm in.
Man,
It's
Is this a
so great.
Continuation.
Continuation.
Oh, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
go back. Like it's like I want to watch the James Franco one again. I want to watch all of them. Like
Yeah.
you just go one at a time. This is a nice binge watch.
Yeah.
Watching these through.
They're very rewatchable too.
for sure.
I agree.
For sure.
I'm gonna have to have the kids sit down
Yeah.
and watch them with me.
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2.
Trailer's out there. Who's most
Yeah.
excited? That's probably Scotty.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
excited.
Man, that
Yeah.
first one.
Maybe
was
Dan.
Great.
Yeah, the first one was awesome.
We've been waiting how long? When did that
Uh,
first one come out?
That was like
2022,
COVID times.
2021.
That was
Yeah.
during them COVID times.
Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
during COVID times.
I only know
wasn't
because
it?
I know it
because it went
came out
direct
on
to
TV.
HBO.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's the news and rumors. That was good.
Yeah,
Real quick.
got it in there.
Are we ready to do the biggest What You Watching in a while, and it's going to be hyperspeed
Are
mixed.
we?
We're not. Let's do it.
What you watching?
What You Watching, that's really Whatchu Sharin. There's a rebrand coming for this segment in 2024 because it's all about what you're sharing. It's not about just what you see with your eyes. It's about whatever you experience, and we want to reflect that next year. This time around, let's talk about it. Ahsoka. Guys, we have so many in here. Here we go. Ahsoka, Disney Plus, Star Wars show that came out. I want ratings, high-level thoughts. I don't want to waste any time. Dan, I want to hear from you.
3.7. This was really fun.
Wow, coming out hot.
Good.
I really enjoyed this one. I thought the villains are the best villains they've had in the most recent Star Wars TV shows for sure. Even better than the movies probably. And the guy, well, I don't know if I want to say that, but the blue villain that shows up
Nice.
is amazing. The kind of gray Jedi almost of, I can't think of the actor's name, who
Ray
unfortunately
Stevenson.
Ray Stevens was like one of the highlights of the show. Rosario Dawson kills it as Ahsoka. Just nothing but fun. I really enjoyed this show and would highly recommend people to watch it. The only caveat I'd have is like I feel like you kind of have to see some of the other at least like live action stuff if you're a super nerd like me and you watched all the animated CG shows. This is like a huge payoff because it's literally a continuation of the last season of Rebels.
Yeah, this is the last season of Rebels for sure.
Yeah.
Nice job.
100%.
Nice rating, nice recap. And how I want it to work today, since there's so many things, it's an opt-in review. If you don't want to say anything about a thing, you don't have to. I do want to say something about this. I give it a 3.3. I think that everything you just said is right, Dan. They're doing the smartest thing they could do with this character in this series, which is don't miss out on the opportunity to get all of those Clone War diehard fans and the people that watch Rebels, that like you have the opportunity to pick those fans right up.
Mm-hmm.
And can we show this to an audience that's never seen any of this before and have a good time? I think mostly. I think that I had a great time. Carrie really loves Star Wars. She doesn't have to know everything about it even. And we had a good time, but man, the Rebel stuff and the characters, and I mean it was thick, right? It was like, without getting in spoilers, but at one point there's like a mural of all the characters from the cartoon like on and they kind of drew them the same. It's kind of like you have to know this. But overall, I would watch this again, and I would definitely be pumped for a season 2. And seeing Ahsoka and all the other Star Wars stuff is a win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing for me, I'm not caught up on these. The only thing, like, how people talk about Marvel, the cinematic universe, burnout, like they're so overwhelmed, they're behind, they don't know where to start. That's where I feel with Star Wars. I fell behind, and now I'm like so intimidated by even like I don't want to watch this. I don't know. I want to watch it, but do I need to watch before? I don't know. It's just it's overwhelming.
It's a lot.
And everything has like context from something before anyway, because
I
it's
know
always Star Wars.
I know I'm missing good shows because I'm too scared to get involved.
Any ratings on Ahsoka that didn't come out?
I go
3.4.
Okay.
Yeah, I go 3.0.
3.0.
3.0.
Final thoughts?
R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. He passed away.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately. What a great part of the show.
And an amazing actor.
Yes.
He was great in Dexter. He was a great
great
villain in Dexter.
Also, the Punisher.
Yeah.
He was a Punisher at one time.
R.I.P. I don't know how he passed. Do you?
I think he just had heart problem.
God.
Yeah, it was right after this came out.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, Star Wars, Disney Plus. Go see it.
Good.
Blue Beetle. Disney came out. I'll go first. 3.4. Fun movie, easy to watch, really goofy, super campy. Does any family like this ever exist is what I asked myself a lot, but I had a good time, and I'd probably watch it again one day, maybe not. I'm going to change it to a 3.0.
I'm gonna give it like a 3.3. Like, man, this movie was fun.
Nice.
Like, it took the kids, sat down, watched it. Everybody was having a great time. Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Good special effects. Great story. I thought it was great. I can't wait to see how they incorporate him into the DC CU whatever into the future.
Yeah, like bring the character back. Cool.
Good character.
Great powers.
Yes.
Like can kind of do big stuff. Anybody else?
2.5 for me. I just was not. It's almost too campy for me.
Yeah, I go like 3.0. It's probably like the most 3.0 movie like I can remember. It was a fun family movie, but I'm not trying to go back and rewatch this very very soon. But Is it on streaming now where you can
Yeah.
watch
Oh,
it?
I'm
sure
Max.
free?
It's on Max.
Max.
Okay, well, I'll probably
Yeah,
throw it on.
I'd give it
soon enough, then. Give it
2.7.
another.
I thought it was pretty cheesy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I love the main actor that plays Blue Beetle in Cobra Kai, and I love his energy. But I found the whole family dynamic just a little too over the top. And Grandma's got a machine gun. I'm like, this is a bit much.
It was.
And I thought
yeah.
George Lopez's character was obnoxious.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like-
why did it feel like no spoilers? Why did it feel like George
Yeah.
Lopez was like, I'm gonna be in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was still convincing
Oh my
them that he
gosh.
should be in it while he's acting.
He was like, I'm definitely just as big as a part as the Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Blue Beetle, DC on Max. Go see it.
Maybe.
Disney Plus, MCU. We're not to the best of yet, but best show of the year. Loki, Season 2, Tom Hiddleston, continuation from the Season 1. Kang the Conqueror's mixed in. Loki time travel, big stakes, big stakes, big stakes. I loved it. I'd give it a 4.0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was definitely perfection on the part of Disney. This is so great. And Ku Hui Kwan as
Oh.
Ouroboros. Like,
Oh.
my God, I almost feel robbed that this is his part in the MCU because, God, do I want more of that guy.
George Lopez was watching that guy going, I
Yeah.
want that.
That's what I
Yeah.
want.
Oh, he would have ruined that. Thank God.
Loki, Andy, go.
Are we doing spoiler alert on this or just high level?
I think keep it high level.
Yeah,
because a
high
lot of people
level.
have not seen it yet, and I want this to be the sell
still
that like
pretty
these
fresh.
these two seasons of this show are like worth your watch.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, exactly like we said, the ending to this is just like you just know that you could feel the whole time during the show how high the stakes were, and that just kept me on the edge of my seat so much. But I mean, Hiddleston just crushed it. Honestly, this is one of the best shows that not only of this year but of probably the past 10 years that I can remember.
Absolutely, yeah, one of the top tier MCU things ever. Dan,
Yeah, 3.8. I loved it. Ouroboros, awesome. Everybody was just giving it their all, and great story, great like kind of timing through everything. A lot of times I feel like some of the Disney shows get a little bloated, and I kind of get bored when they're just talking and talking and talking. But I thought this had a great pace throughout that kept me really on the edge of my seat, interested and in love with all the characters and variations of the characters.
well said, very nice. Did anybody not go?
I haven't. The acting in this show this is top notch. Huddleston, you got freaking Owen Wilson. It's the best acting and writing I think of any show that they've had thus far. I give it a 3.9, and I probably only dock it because there's some episodes I just am like, this is way over my head. I have no idea what's happening, but I love it.
Right.
And it's the one show. Every episode at the end, you're like, I can't wait for next week.
Yeah,
I got to see what's going on.
Carrie would do the same thing. And she was, I'm watching it. She was a little bit on her phone, she would admit during this, but she would just get to an end episode and just be like, I just don't know, like, what's going on. And I was like, let me tell you. And it was the most fun ever to talk about this show and be like, they're being so witty. They're being so smart.
It would be one that it would be very difficult for me to be on, like, do the meet and explain to somebody what's happening. Because it's like, you just got to watch it. Because I don't even know what it all means fully. But I trust that I'm going to know the way eventually.
And it's Loki, right? It's called Loki. And I really am like Thor and is probably my favorite, like, Avenger. And then Thor and Loki are like probably like two of my favorite characters out of like the Marvel universe. Like, truly, I really cling to like that living forever type thing. Of course, that longevity. These gods live for 10,000 years. I think Odin lived for.
Yeah.
So when you consider that and you consider like what the god of mischief is and what Loki is like in Norse mythology, this show, man, it gets into some stuff. Okay. All right, we talked about it enough. Any ratings that didn't come out? I think
I forgot to say my rating.
Say it.
Perfect.
3.95.
Perfect.
3.95. The only
0.95.
only doc I think is the usage of McDonald's. McDonald's sucks.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was,
yeah.
what are we doing?
Ryan Reel says it's available on Blu-ray for those who don't have streaming. That might be one just to get.
I love
just to
that.
have it.
I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Yeah, if you're not streaming Disney Plus, it's out there on Blu-ray, or you can get it somewhere else online. Right into another Marvel flick, or Marvel thing. Marvel flick, The Marvels, Captain Marvel 2, Brie Larson's back, also bringing in characters like Kamala Khan from Miss Marvel, and also Monica Rambeau from WandaVision. I will rate this movie right away, get it done. I'll give this a 3.4. I had a great time. I thought the movie was awesome. I think that I had a great time because I'm an MCU fan. I am a diehard Ms. Marvel fan, I've realized. I've watched this series twice. I watched WandaVision. I had real big emotions seeing these characters on the big screen, having that context. There's parts of Ms. Marvel, without any major spoilers, there's parts of, because this is in the trailer, Ms. Marvel, like, fighting alongside Nick Fury. And, like, this moment of, like, I literally am, like, getting goosebumps right now where I'm kind of like, holy cow. Like, I know this character. The girl that plays Kamala, I forget.
Iman
Vellani is amazing. She, like, she
good.
steals your heart, like, in all the fun ways. So the Marvels, I think the weakest part of this movie was Brie Larson. Brie Larson is constantly just like this, for me personally, like this lukewarm, middle of the road. Seems like she, like, got the gig. It seems like maybe, like, Uncle Larson, like, works at Disney. I don't know.
She's half-hearted about it. Does it feel?
Everything, like, even like her
such
car
a great actress.
her car commercials, her, like, everything's just a little middle of the road.
She
The best
feels
thing,
a little wooden.
the best thing
muted.
The best thing I saw her in was Kong with Tom Hiddleston.
Kong,
I was like her, like, I loved her in that movie.
She was in that room, that movie, The Room.
The Room.
Carrie loves that
It's
movie.
so-
That's a good.
Oscar award winning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, am I just full of it? She has that new show out on Apple TV Plus called Chemistry. I want no part of it. So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be like scorned toward this
Kind of
person.
ironic that it's called chemistry when I feel like she has none on screen.
Lessons in chemistry.
Well, and I felt like, as her agent, they were probably like, "What if we just did a show with you as the star and we call it Chemistry?"
I thought it was,
To,
I think it's
that'll
lessons
get
in-
people to think you have chemistry.
lessons in
We're gonna-
chemistry, right?
Drive it down
It's
the
something
road.
like that.
Yeah, I think it's lessons in chemistry.
All right. Well, Marvels, Giggler, hit us.
This one I loved. I mean, it was super fun. These three, like you said, did a great job. The villain was a little weak for me, but I didn't really expect much, and I like where this kind of shows kind of projects where we're going with the MCU going forward. To keep it spoiler free, I'm excited for that portion. Anyone that has seen the movie will know what I'm talking about there. But that part of it, I loved it. I'll go with like a 3.3.
Scotty?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie as well. I agree with Andy. The villain was really the weak point of this movie. I didn't feel any motivation of why they were doing what they were doing. But man, that's, to Logan's point, Iman Vellani, it almost makes me sick how likable she is.
Right, I know.
Just like, man,
One of those people.
She's just on there and you just get a big smile on your face, and she's just so good at playing this character. The only thing she's done,
Right.
I think.
Right, to my knowledge.
Like, I can't wait to see her do something else and see if that charisma, carries over. But, everything else was great. I mean, I like that it wasn't over bloated. It was just a short, succinct, to the point movie.
Yeah, that's true. Went to the end. Did you rate it?
3.2.
Sleeper.
Haven't seen it. I'll go see it though.
Yeah.
Well, and it'll be on
Yeah.
Disney soon. Dan?
Same. I haven't seen this one yet. It's holiday times. It's hard.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. And
Work
honestly, hey,
stuff.
guess what? 3 out of 5 people saw this movie.
Well, can I
That's-
throw
yeah,
out
that's about-
a fun fact that connects the last two things we talked about?
Yes?
Did you guys know that the villain, she's played by Zawe Ashton? I just looked her up, but she's married to Tom Hiddleston in real life.
Okay. Well, that adds up.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And
Didn't know they
those
got
came out
married.
on the same day. Like the finale of Loki was the same day.
He's like
the
talking
Marvels
to
came out.
talking to John Favreau. He's like, "Listen, I want to get my wife as the villain of, like,
Thank you.
I was thinking
I'll do Loki 3.
I was thinking like Secret Wars." And he's like, "How about the Marvels?"
That's what we can do for you.
All right, yeah, you'll see it when you see it. It's an MCU flick. It is Captain Marvel 2. They changed the title because they knew that they needed more buff to this movie, I think. But it's out there. Disney Plus, and will be on Blu-ray soon, I'm sure. Sony released part 2 of a movie called Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a sequel to the movie Into the Spider-Verse, an animated film, Sony's Spider-Man project that is arguably the most successful Spider-Man project that's ever come out in terms of just a Spider-Man-centric thing. I loved it. It was perfect. Every scene I can't get enough of. No spoilers here. Giving this a 3.99. Next.
Big score.
perfect movie for me. 4, a perfect follow up to the previous one. Man, I just cannot wait for this next movie. This was so good.
All right, my .01 ding was only because, without spoilers, this is tricky. The very end of the movie, how it ends, I was kind of thinking, like, I was like a little more. I was like a little bit more of a cliffhanger. Like no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you anything. But that was my ding.
That's fair.
They just went on a little too much.
Or
you're saying you wanted
it either went
bit
on
more.
a little too much, or like I get the reveal. I get like this is how we're gonna do it. But I was like, there's probably like 2 more reveals you could do in a big like part 1, part 2, especially as long as these movies take. Okay, Andy, Giggler.
Exactly. My first thoughts are I'm so upset about how long it's going to be till this comes out. Like it's the writer's strike and everything. But this movie, perfect as well. 4.0. I do not. It might be one of the first times I've ever given that. Like this is one of the most rewatchable movies I can remember in my life. Like I've watched this like about 10 times now. It's like
wow.
It's not just.
It's only been out for like a week.
But it's so good. Like they knocked it out of the park as a sequel, and I really. I'm worried about the third. Like it's either going to be, to me, it's like either going to flop or be the best movie ever.
Right, because it's built up so
Yeah,
I don't know.
much.
We have no reason to doubt them right now.
We don't.
killed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
2
team
in a
on
row.
this.
I
They're 2
thought
for 2.
this is so. I mean, this was good. It's fun. You don't have to know everything about the MCU. You can just watch these kind of in its own silo. They're so freaking good. I'd give it 3.95. Just so fun.
Dan.
3.9. My only ding was what you said. I felt like the movie just stopped
Right.
at the end. Like I felt like they could have, I don't know, like it was good cliffhanger, but at the same time, it was such an abrupt stop that I wanted more, but
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It's like being on this podcast and like we've all seen it. I'll go ahead and say spoiler alert for the film because you heard all of our takes, you heard our ratings, right? Did you say yours?
It's 4.
Yeah, right. And so spoiler alert for the film. There you go. If you don't want to hear it, the end. He meets his other multiverse self, and like that's the big reveal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me, and it's not their fault. Like these guys are making this, they're drawing everything. And the multiverse is like the way that this movie was always multiverse, So like him meeting his other self was like not the craziest thing to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course.
It's
like,
already in the cards.
like, yeah, he should. He
Yeah.
should meet himself is kind of how I thought.
Yeah.
So like it was cool to see it, and it was cool to see him as like, I mean, here's the big spoiler, like the bad guy.
He's the bad guy, yeah.
That's
And there's no Spider-Man on this
and there's
world.
and that's the big one. And I think that's it too. Rewatching it for the second time, I put together a little bit more of like, okay, so that spider that bit him came from that world, so like never happened there. It happened to him. He's like the lucky one. Another world is like going
Yeah.
across the Spider-Verse. Final thoughts?
Perfect.
Watch it if you haven't seen it.
See it. Go.
Amazing.
The Boys is a great TV show. They created a spinoff. It was so good called Gen V. That's right. The college years, if you will. And it's better than you think because that was my first thought. The Boys in college. I don't know. Yes. They did it again. Eric Kripke. It's here. Gen V is out there. I give this a 3.9 as well. It's amazing. The way they're going to do this show, just for context as we do the rest of the ratings, The Boys and Gen V will alternate seasons like always, and they'll always hand off with the show to the next one. So right now Gen V ended, season 4 of The Boys. It'll be like the next day.
Wow. Okay. So it's like they get the balls in their court.
That's exactly, and they kind of toss it
Cool.
back and forth. All right,
Did not know that.
go ahead. Gen V.
I love it.
Sleeper.
Like you said, I thought it was. I'm like, this is not going to be as good. The spinoffs they just usually don't land as well. I give this one probably like a 3.75 because I put The Boys so high. Just having Homelander in there, that episode with spoiler alert, Homelander. If you haven't seen it,
Well, big spoiler.
No, it's fine.
That's the big spoiler.
that
You got to watch that.
was so freaking.
You were sleeping. Hey, but
No, not during this one.
here's what people
Snort.
here's what people don't know. Anything else? Like
Anything else?
it's a spinoff.
And I mean,
Guess what? Here's some other names you might hear. A-Train. You might hear
gonna
some about
see-
Maeve.
it's the same universe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's the best part about it to me. Like I just love it. All the DC and Marvel are trying to have all these interconnected universes, and they just low-key just released a spin-off that everyone thought wasn't going to be that great, and here we are talking about it being possibly as good as Loki, and this is my favorite show of the year. I put it ahead of Loki
Woo!
slightly, so
Rate it. It's a 4.0 then.
I go like a 3. Yeah, pretty much 3.99.
If it's better than Loki.
I don't know if I can do it. Like 4.0 is.
What's your rating, Sam?
It's tough.
I said I think 3.75, just because The Boys is so high up on that list.
Dan?
I haven't seen it yet. This is on my list, my backlog.
Ryan?
I'm with you, Dan.
Neither has Scotty. All good. Ryan
You're
Real.
lucky.
Ryan Real in the chat has seen it. Gen V is so worth following on TikTok. They are so funny on there. We also have Brandon Rogalski of Grease Masters in the chat. I agree about the Homelander piece. I stood off my couch and put my hands on my head. So again, we're not giving specifics, but there's going to be some mind-blowing parts here for you. Gen V, Prime, season 1 just ended, leading into season 4 of The Boys. Can't wait. All right, this is whose is this?
It's got to be Dan's, right?
Dan, we have Castlevania
Castlevania
Nocturne on Netflix. Hit us. Or on Max, maybe.
On Netflix.
Netflix.
So this
I was
is
going from memory
Netflix
on that.
started. Yeah, Netflix started a few years ago doing like anime-esque versions of some of the video game properties. So they did Castlevania, and they had like a really good reception. I think it lasted
was really
3 or 4
good.
seasons. It's really good. This is a follow-up series to that. Don't want to get into any spoilers, but much like a lot of the seasons, ends on an awesome cliffhanger. If you like vampires and you like anime style, you like the video games, this is really, really, really well done. Extremely enjoyable, great pace. I'd give it a 3.7.
Hell yeah.
Lots of high ratings. today.
Lots of good
Yeah.
stuff on the
Saturdays.
show. Is it that's that Saturday morning? Are we all just jazzed up?
I think so.
Castle-
Coffee.
Castlevania. Anyone else?
I can't speak to this one in particular, but I will say that the Castlevania series on Netflix is so good. I highly recommend.
Same bar, Scott.
Yeah. Okay.
I delayed watching it initially, and then I blew through they're like 20-something minutes, 8 episodes, blew
Okay.
through all of it in like 2 days.
The animation for that series is so good.
The action scenes are
Yes.
amazing.
So for
the
fans-
magic.
For fans wanting to get into this, there's Castlevania the show, then there's Castlevania Nocturne the show.
Yeah.
Both on Netflix. You should watch them in that order.
You
Yes.
should definitely.
Boom. Next up, Sam the Sleeper. Tell us about
Nice.
MIZ.
ZOU, baby. If you're not watching college football, if you didn't watch college football, you're missing out. Some of the best football I've seen. I'll say a decade, because Mizzou hasn't really been good for about a decade. Mizzou aside, college football this year, amazing. Rivalry week, amazing. The Kentucky-Louisville game, amazing. Alabama-Auburn, nutty. I couldn't believe what the heck was happening on the field. That game's insane every year. We got big news. Mizzou ended up bowl eligible. Not just bowl eligible, New Year's 6 bowl eligible. They got Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, December 29th.
7 p.m.
7 p.m., right in the middle of that
Oh yeah, those plans are on the side for now.
You're going.
the Christmas
y'all
bus.
coming to Texas?
Uh-oh.
Come on down.
Uh-oh.
If you're buying my ticket,
Yeah, no. This has been a big year. Mizzou did excellent this year, and hopefully we'll take down Ohio State here on the 29th. So,
yeah,
I give the season, college football in general, it's going to be a 3-8 for me. It's just kicking butt over the NFL.
Yeah.
And then Mizzou, this is a 3-9, because it's not their best season in the last 13 years, but it's second best, I'd say. Or even 2007, a pretty solid year for
this is our biggest
Mizzou
game,
football.
the biggest game since
For a while.
then for sure. In the
Exact-
past 15 years,
absolutely
13 years probably.
But exciting stuff. 3-9 for the Mizzou Tigers. So
Nice. I love the ratings of the team, the league.
Oh.
College football fans, you are welcome for that. Sports getting mixed in.
Mizzou, Mizzou guys, we've been waiting for this for a long time.
And as someone that lives in Missouri, I just hope this has great economic implications.
This is awesome.
Can't have bad economic implications. So
All
I
this
like
winning,
that.
I like winning.
I went to a game a couple weeks ago for the first time in 10 years. So,
Tennessee,
So yeah.
that was a great game
Oh
too.
God, yes, it
oh
was.
my God.
Mizzou
was.
football. That's Carrie's alma mater.
Yep.
Yours?
Shout out
Mine, yeah.
Tigers.
Dan, did you go there?
Yep.
Yeah.
We were
Scott?
we were frat bros.
Did you go to Mizzou?
Unfortunately, I did not go to Mizzou.
I didn't go to Mizzou either. Good.
Where'd you guys go? Come on, shout it out.
I went to Mineral Area College first, and then Central Methodist University.
Jeffco and St. Louis Community College.
Yeah, and just remember, it's impressive period to go to college, so we'll just leave it at that. All right.
It's expensive.
Hey, stay in school.
Yeah, and congrats on all the
Get your
debt.
education.
Congrats
But
on
not-
all the debt to all of us.
Yeah, stay in school, but not too long, or you'll never be done paying for it.
All right, moving right into Blippi. Who's watching Blippi?
Who loves Ari? All right, that's an inside joke. My
You're-
kid comes home, he's eating dinner, and eventually he'll just go, Blippi, Blippi, Blippi. I hear that constantly. This is a kid's show about, this very eccentric young gentleman that we have on the slide here. His name is Blippi. I hear it pretty much every day of my life. It's somewhat educational, kind of garbage. But you know what? When you need your kid just to chill out for a minute, and you need that quiet time.
This is it.
Hey,
I've heard
man.
people at my office talk about this with kids, definitely.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, I'm going to put the damn Blippi show on. Just give me some peace and quiet for 10, 30 minutes. That's it. He's not buried in it forever, but it's a little screen. You got to watch that screen time.
You know how many parents in their cars just now just hit their steering wheel? Like,
Oh.
hell yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, just throw this on.
This
and,
is the New Age Blues Clues.
Yeah. I got to call it, though. Sometimes I'm like, sorry, Ari. Sorry, Ari. Sorry, Ari.
That's a new segment on the show. Sorry, Ari.
It's just like, buddy, we're watching football or something. We got to turn this off.
And I guess no one else has seen it, probably. Your kids are a little too
I
old, Scotty.
got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My kids are Dora kids.
This is
Nice.
this is a 3.2 for me, just because it shuts my kid up for a little bit.
And also Steven's Universe or
Steven Universe.
Steven Universe.
Yeah.
That's for your daughter,
Yeah. Lila.
Lila. That's for you, Lila. I know. I know you're a fan. I know for a fact you're a fan. Blippi. Where do people watch it?
It's on Netflix,
Netflix.
YouTube.
Everything.
I think it was on YouTube originally.
All right, Scott, tell us about, we had a guest on the podcast, Sam the DM. Dungeons & Dragons made it to the podcast. You went to Apotheosis Comics Presents Bubbles and Bards, a live Dungeons & Dragons brunch at the City Winery. Julie Lally, our PR friend here in St. Louis, and Sam were gracious enough to send Scotty and Shanna to the brunch. Scotty, we need that review.
Man, it was such a fun experience. You had everybody up on the stage there running a live game of D&D. Sam took the players on a ride on the Cobra Express for a train heist that took them through the depths of hell and back. It was fun. Had a good breakfast buffet there at the City Winery. Couple of nice drinks. If anyone gets a chance to do something like this, I highly recommend it. Sam did a great job running the game, keeping everybody in line, throwing out the story. The players were great, funny, effective in destroying things.
Was it like a one-shot thing?
Yeah,
Scott?
it was just a one-shot thing. I think it was
Cool.
maybe ran for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So they had
that's
some
a
audience,
quick-
some audience.
That's a quick game.
Participation, where they could help players out with failed rolls and stuff like that. So great time.
Yeah, great time to plug the episode where we had Sam in because
Yes,
you can hear.
go back and
if
watch
you
that.
if you just heard some words that you don't understand and you're like, would I go to this as a non-D&D fan? Would I go to this as a D&D fan? The answer to both questions is yes.
Yes.
So you need to go listen to our episode because Sam explains the whole thing, and you can actually book Sam and people like Sam to be your dungeon master for all sorts of events. He
yeah.
does wedding parties.
Yeah, group of people.
Like he does bachelor parties, bachelorette
Wow.
parties. A wedding actually had him do it once for their whole party. Like you play around, you do a one shot.
And it's at the wedding?
Yeah, he can do it
Wow.
anywhere. He brings
Wow.
he
Yeah.
has
He
has
takes
hundreds
the
of
stuff to
dice
you.
and
Wow.
yes.
Yeah, great time.
Great time.
Yeah.
Sam the DM, go check it out. And Apotheosis Comics, Martin and Sam were on the pod. Thank you guys, and thanks for sending Scotty and Shanna to a great brunch at the beautiful City Winery at the City Foundry in St. Louis. And Andy, I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about Spider-Man 2, the video game on PS5.
Spoiler free.
Can I do a full segue and give these gifts real quick because you gave me a perfect
Yeah.
just transition to that.
Oh.
Yeah, go
with
ahead.
The last topic.
Get them out. This is it.
Thank you.
We're getting toward the end of what you watch, and
Tis the
we're
season.
leading to a break. We are going to take a break in the middle so we can get our pee out of us and our
Sam,
breath.
hold this, please.
Okay.
Oh man, here comes. Should he?
Am I being served?
This is happening, right?
I'll see you in court.
This
sir.
is Andy's
Logan?
side gig.
Logan, this one's for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh man, gifts.
All right.
The holiday spectacular, of course. It's not just best of 2023. We do the holidays. No matter what you're celebrating this year, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, anything at all. This is a season of giving. Andy,
All right.
give us instructions.
So yesterday, I went on a nice little trip to Grand Avenue. Started at Apotheosis Comics, first time. Drove up there, and Martin was just smoking a cigar outside. So I was like, I love this place already.
Coolest guy ever.
So pop in there. Sam, open yours. Yours is half for you, half for Ari.
Okay.
I got some nice comics
Oh,
there.
look at
One
this.
was
What are you working
one
with?
was a free gift.
Tell us what you see.
Oh man,
We got X-Men What If with
Woo!
Mickey and friends. Wow.
Whoa.
There we go.
Sweet. And then
Mickey Mouse in X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool
Guys.
kind of crossover. It's like a spy. But
Oh
it's
yeah, use your
actually
camera. You're right here.
It's actually a Spider-Man comic book, which kind of let me
Nice.
know how that works out.
Nice. Yep.
As well as that, this next one was a free gift from Martin, and it seemed like that this would be more in Ari's wheelhouse.
Yeah, Bush
little
Leaguers.
baseball. But you
Am I up?
You two bring out those comics,
All right. I'm going.
So-
and we'll go to the next step.
I mean, what? I got a Santa face.
oh man.
So this one was recommendation from Martin as well. If it's a scratch and sniff cover, his mouth, Santa's mouth smells like peppermint,
Oh my
and
god.
this is a Batman Silent Night edition. And then also
Also.
nice Superman
Oh,
1978.
wow. Oh,
I
very
think it
cool.
was. This takes place in the actual same universe as the movies. So there was a Batman 89 version that I got for myself that is
Are
basically
you serious?
Wow.
a sequel to Batman Returns. So
You just
Super
bought.
cool.
You just bought me the best thing. Thank you so much, Andy. There's something else in
problem,
here too.
we'll get to that one next.
Okay,
Keep-
okay,
keep
go ahead.
on the books.
I
books
kind of
will
want to
be-
get this framed and throw it in his room. Go through it.
Do
and
that.
then
Do that.
Frame it.
What do we
It's
got?
kind of
do
cool.
the book first.
Do the book first?
We'll get to the.
Okay.
Andy,
wrap.
Andy's just. He's like, I don't want to talk about Spider-Man right now. I want to give gifts. I like it.
Put it on hold.
You gave me the
got-
perfect.
It's good. No,
transition.
this is a good time. It's the holiday spectacular. We always do presents
Hulk.
usually.
Look
this,
at this.
This just spoke to me.
Yeah,
for you,
man,
Scotty.
look at that.
Wow. Yeah.
What
Look
is
at-
it?
Opened right to it. Look at
Oh
that.
man,
my.
that's nice.
Classic.
Dude.
Very nice.
So is that like one story, or is it like mini stories? Is it like just designs? Is it
This looks like a bunch of art.
and
artwork.
collectible artwork is
Like,
what the
it's
front of it says.
Special
Yeah.
edition. It's the last one they had, so
Wow.
that's not
This
going to
is
be available.
Beautiful. Thank you, Andy.
Last one.
Andy.
No problem. No problem.
Andy coming out.
So let's go.
clutch.
Then right next door, I went down to Gotham and Eggs.
Got it.
Got
Yeah.
your boys some gift cards in there, so we can get a nice little head start.
That's
on
a
our-
DC themed
Baby.
or like superhero themed.
It's just
Ooh,
all
there it
superhero. I
is.
went in there, and it is an awesome place. I cannot wait to go
Wow.
back and have some breakfast with you guys. Maybe get some comics as well. And then I was getting in my car, and I was like, all right, that's a good enough gifts for these guys. Then I looked across the street, and there was another one of our recent partners that you guys might remember. Pop those bad boys open,
Okay.
and you guys will have a good laugh at this.
Oh yes, yes. It's
I
this.
knew the bag smelled.
I know.
I smelled something
certain
too.
way.
Dude.
I thought I was getting. I was like, why is my mouth watering?
It's such
It's
a-
because of a beef bacon scented Steve's hot dogs
Oh.
candle.
Saint Steve, the patron saint of beefy goodness.
This
Shout
picture. Look at
out,
this
Steve.
camera shot. Like Jesus.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my
please
God.
please recall that $5 of these purchase goes to his foundation to feed people that need it. So
Feed the people.
Awesome.
that was a
Feed the people.
no-brainer.
Steve
that-
Ewing of The Urge of Steve's Hot Dogs on the podcast 2 weeks ago, and we talked about these candles. Andy,
beef
put that up
scented-
on the shelf. Just
beef
throw it up
scented
there.
candles.
Find a spot for it. Oh my gosh, Andy,
Smells kind of good.
it smells like something in here. I mean, those.
Scott, I see a good
Remember,
smell right there.
Steve on the podcast was hilarious. He was like, "They've done it. They've done it. They figured out beef scent for candles." Like as if it's been the problem to solve. You know.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
I'm
Thank you.
I
No
mean,
problem.
thank you so much,
I
man.
love
killed
that.
it.
I wanted to kind of give some gifts and then also highlight and support some people that have supported us.
They
this
have,
year,
and
so.
everyone involved there. It's like those are people that have been on the pod, engaged with us on the pod. Even like got ham and eggs. We've talked to them on Instagram about doing some crossover stuff. You've actually been over
Yes,
there now.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you, man.
awesome. We gotta have breakfast soon.
All
I got
right.
a nice because of those gift cards. I got a nice little $5 one free for myself, with the little promotion that they're doing for Christmas. So that'll give us a little head start to our big day on Grand.
Yes.
And at Steve's Hot Dogs now we have a lunch and a dinner maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna have like I'm kind of seeing like an event on Grand one day maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, Andy.
I guess I got to talk about Spider-Man.
Tell us about the PS5 Spider-Man game.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 PS5. Scott, have you played this yet or no?
I do not have a PS5.
Okay,
so I have not played it.
I thought you did. My bad. My bad. Dan was the one that'll couple with me on this one. But man, this is the most fun that I have ever had playing a video game, and I have played so many video games in my life. This is another perfect for me. 4.0 here.
Wow.
Like the first one was so good.
Not
like
surprised.
the story of these games is so good that like it's like made me tear up multiple times. And that's crazy to me that like that would happen in a video game.
Do you have a low threshold for that?
Sometimes depends
Everything
what you're
all
going.
right, Andy?
Depend what you're going through at any given time. But damn, it was
Depends
so
on the
fun.
day.
Like you honestly feel like immersed as Spider-Man. Like the swinging through, I could just swing through New York the whole time. I'm going to New York on Monday. I actually know my way around the city now. Thanks, Spider-Man.
Wow, it got you ready for your New York trip.
Yes.
You can
I'll
just do that in one fell swoop.
If
That'd be
nothing,
great.
hey, don't spend $50 on a tour guide. Just buy this video game.
Yeah, you'll know where everything is.
But honestly, the story is just like half of it. Like there's the only, you know what? I'm sorry. It's not a 4.0. I gotta halt back, and I bet Dan's gonna agree with me here. I gotta dock it a little bit. 3.95. You're forced to play as Mary Jane a few times, among other.
What's wrong with that?
It's just boring. It's just boring. You go from like
Swinging,
having cool powers, and then she just shoots people and tries to be stealthy.
Calls him Tiger.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the gist of it. But I had so much fun. Like I'm gonna go back. It's the first time I played a game to 100%.
Wow.
And I had so much fun doing it. And I'm like, can I get to 200 somehow? I'm probably just gonna replay the. I forgot what the
New Game Plus.
Whatever that's called.
All right, Dan, you played it.
3.8. It's the most fun I had in a video game this year. A different game takes my favorite one just because of legacy of the series, but everything Andy said is right. The Mary Jane stuff, it's not Mary Jane. It's just when you're Spider-Man and you're zipping around, you're moving, you have all these moves, and then you're Mary Jane with a stun gun. It's not the same. Like it's too slow. It slows it down, and it's intentional. They put that in there to add time so the game's longer.
Miles Morales is like, what's wrong with stun guns?
she's like,
Yeah.
hail in a cab.
Yeah. So, but you do get to play as Spider-Man and Miles, and you can switch instantaneously. There's like no loading screens. So you can drop into any point of the map. Like the technology and the fact that it's a Sony first party property. It's truly one of the best things in the PlayStation 5 right now. And if you're a Spider-Man fan and you didn't play the first one, Miles, and then this one, which you really do need to play them in order,
right? Because
they are direct story sequels to one another. You even kind of need to play the DLC for the first one, which is downloadable content, extra story.
Nice.
That is included nowadays with the first one's like complete edition or whatever. But you can probably get that pretty cheap. But it's great. It's a ton of fun.
Spider-Man 2, PS5. Nothing but good things coming out of this game. All right, guys, a few more left on What You Watching before we get to the break. Go ahead, Scotty, and I believe Andy. We'll start with Scotty. Spoiler-free, because I have not seen it in this movie. You're going to hear about it multiple times in this episode, so keep that in mind as you go. Hit us.
Godzilla -1. I went with Lila to see this one. She loves kaiju, big monsters.
Out in theaters.
Out in theaters.
It's Japanese movie.
Japanese. It's got the subtitles. It is not dubbed.
Only in theaters until the 14th.
Yes. God, for God's sakes, go see this movie.
Wow.
It is the best Godzilla movie I have ever seen. This is on my list of best things I've seen this year.
It made it at the end.
For sure.
What's the rating?
This has got to be like a 3.9. Like, this was fantastic. And they made this movie for $15 million.
I love that.
I cannot believe it.
Do they still use the puppets and the costumes, or is it
this is
CG now?
This is CG, and I don't know how they did it for $15 million.
Yeah, and you're gonna hear we have a lot of pop-ins, a lot of folks popping in the second half of this episode, and this movie keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Andy,
I totally agree. So this was my first Godzilla in theater experience. I don't really have a lot of familiarity with the Japanese Godzilla, so this was eye-opening for me. I hadn't even seen the trailer going into this. But I'd go with about a 3.4. There were a few times where I kind of like zoned out with a lot of talking going on. I was like, I just kept being like, I want more Godzilla time.
Less subtitles.
And yeah, the subtitles. I'm like, I'd zone out and I'd be like, damn it, I can't do this. I gotta read.
What'd they say?
Would I fall asleep during those parts?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it holds up. Like the parts that hit, they are through the roof. And like the Godzilla is amazing, and like the fact that that's the budget is kind of blows my mind. That's the first time hearing of that, and I thought it would be like a high budget flick with what we're seeing. But
So does it kick the tails off like Godzilla versus Kong? Like I know it's a different.
So
Godzilla.
yeah, this is a different different kind of thing.
Well, speaking of which,
I think it's better.
Oh, wow. That was natural.
Wow, what a transition.
you know what that means. It's the character of the week. Do another one. Character of the week. Ooh, Godzilla. All right, yeah, the biggest thing I want to answer, I dropped in a link to the episode description today that you can totally check out. There's 11 versions of Godzilla, back to the original, all the way through. It's just like anything. Some people own certain things, some people don't. The biggest thing I want to answer for this group right now is keep it simple. There's this Godzilla -1 movie. This is Toho, a Japanese film, standalone, on its own thing. That's it, right? It's its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with the Godzilla vs. Kong, which, man, I loved.
Yeah.
And now they have the continuation of that movie that came out a few years ago with the TV show, tell me if I'm right, on Apple TV Plus called Monarch.
Monarch, that is correct.
It's the same. That's the same. And then now there's a continuation, a third iteration, continuing that Godzilla story in Godzilla and Kong.
X-Kong, I think.
X-Kong,
yeah.
which I thought X is like for and, like, because it's not like times Kong.
I think so.
It's
Yeah.
like it's either verse or like we're together.
Yeah.
Essentially. So I think like they're together. If you watch the first one, maybe that makes sense.
Team up.
The
It's like
team
a
up.
collaboration.
So that's the breakdown, right? Did I miss anything?
No. Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Lots of
Any other
Godzilla.
thoughts on Godzilla? Any mega fans? I mean, you go check this out. Character of the week. There's a lot of Godzillas out there. You're probably asking yourself, what's the difference between all of them? How many have come out? We're not going to get into it right now, but you can read that article from Screen Rant when you're ready. All right, Scott, tell us about Yes.Fit. You're doing something.
Yes.Fit. So about a year ago.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Could be.
Yet.
About a year ago, I joined this. This is a virtual race app that you can join. And really, it's just, you join these races, and it's meant as a motivator to keep you moving.
Nice.
That's I found that after I moved into the office for my job, I wasn't moving around a lot. And I decided, like, hey, maybe I'll join this thing. It'll give me a little extra motivation, and I'm going to reach into my bag here, and this is going to seem a little ridiculous.
This is awesome.
It's probably going to be very loud.
What? Oh my god.
So you join races.
He's getting ready.
Yeah.
When you complete these races, you get a medal.
Oh boy.
And I'll just say in the last year, I've done over 1,500 miles.
Whoa. I'll give it up for that.
And
Whoa, look at your medals.
I've got like over 24 medals.
I see a unicorn, like a Pegasus.
Yeah,
I see
Pegasus.
Loki.
a Loki.
I've got a Loki. I've got this really cool Thor.
It sounds like I've put a
Medal.
soundbite in with medals,
Yes.
but it's real.
It's been really fun for the last year.
There's a Hydra.
Hydra, Phoenix. There's all kinds of different stuff.
Let me see if I can recap. Yes.Fit. You can do races that like you just do it on your phone with an app.
Yeah, so
and then you're
all of
signing
these,
up, you're
it
hitting
takes-
miles, and then they're sending you medals.
And they send you medals. You sign up for a race. All of these, there's one in here that was 150 miles. There's some in here that are like 30 miles. And, you pay the fee and they send you a medal when you complete it. You get all your steps or run or whatever you got to do.
You pay the fee per race?
Yes,
Or-
per race. If you join the website, you get a discount on all the races.
So you can do that. And you've given people a code.
if
Like,
you
want to try this out.
If you sign up with my code, I do believe we both get like $5 off.
And we need it, guys. All right, we need this. All right, this is how we
I
pay
know.
for our coffees.
I'm trending the wrong way.
So
Yes,
super fun. Look at that. Look at all that.
You're a fan.
I love the stuff.
Yeah.
I just love getting stuff that
He doesn't love it that much, guys.
Thor
signifies what I did.
Yeah.
Like I like having something
they're
that,
metal.
that
They're well made.
proves
Let me feel it.
what it. Just,
It sounds like a cowbell.
like this is.
Yeah, it does.
This is heavy.
All right, so you can do this too. If you're trying to get motivated, you're trying to check it out. Scotty's a fan. He has literally 20 medals here. Okay. Yes.fit/races, and you can use Scotty's code. V as in Victor, N as in Nancy, I as in idiot, R as in Roger, Y as in yo-yo, J as in Joker, U as in umbrella, C as in coach. All right. Scotty, thank you very much. And the last thing I think in the What You Watching category before the break is a Carrie Christmas. Carrie's been watching
Here we go.
It's only December 9th. You got some time left to see some more holiday flicks if you're trying to. I have 3 for you. I'll keep it really quick. A Timeless Christmas. This came out in 2020. Time traveler from the 1900s gets transported to his same exact house, but in 2023, and it's a museum where they talk about the people that used to live there. So you can only imagine the antics they get into. Timeless Christmas. Next up, Holiday in Handcuffs. That's Melissa Joan Hart. Clarissa explains it all. Kidnapping AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. And she has to go home for Christmas. Her mom says you have to bring a boyfriend. She doesn't have one. Well, she's going to have one today.
And he ain't getting away,
He
apparently.
ain't. Holiday in Handcuffs, so fun. And then we both watched it. We watched all 3 of these together. I liked both of them. This is my personal favorite, Family Switch. That is a 2023 flick with Ed Helms and Jennifer Gardner and new kid actors that I don't know their names yet. Maybe one day. Family Switch, and it's just like it sounds. Family Christmas. I wish I had your life. I wish I had your life, and it's gonna be goofy. And here's the real sell that got me. Okay. Ed Helms switching place with his son, Jennifer Gardner switching place with her daughter, and then the baby switches places with the dog.
Oh my God, the dog.
That's going to get you. Family Switch. Carrie Christmas, everybody.
I started that. I hadn't gotten to that point of the switch.
Oh, spoiler.
Well, it was in the description. It read it to me on
Yeah.
Netflix, and I
All
go,
right.
good. I'll go, all right, Netflix, you got me. You guys ready for a break?
Let's do a break.
Big break, and then
break.
best of 2023 coming at you. Stick around, folks. Streamers online on the podcast. We will be right back.
The meat.
On the meat, mostly superheroes, season 4 finale, best of 2023 holiday spectacular. A great recap in the first half of the episode. Thank you for tuning in live on Facebook, Twitch, X, and YouTube, and thanks for tuning in your podcast apps and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and maybe at mostlysuperheroes.com. You just heard everything in the first leg of this episode, that stuff that came out this year. This is the episode to tell your friends and family to check out if they've been wondering what's on TV and film and books. We talked about the stuff we watched. We got to catch up, and now we're going to highlight the best of the best, and even in a couple situations, the worst of the worst. Really excited. A lot of cameos, a lot of fans. I don't even want to mess around. And to set the stage for the meat today is an old friend. Actually, a few old friends. You'll recognize the Jock and Nerd podcast, Imran, Anthony, Rug Boy. And these guys really are a huge inspiration to our podcast. If you listen to both shows, you'll see the similarities. There's a lot of things that we absolutely borrowed from them in terms of like organizing our show and just kind of like the general concept that a radio talk show could be a podcast in your own house. Imran is the one that taught me that. 8 years ago, they've been doing this podcast, the Jock and Nerd podcast. Highly recommend you go check them out. And because we're doing a few big categories today, we're doing the best books, TV, film, movie. We're going to talk about video games and even our favorite concert. And we're going to keep it moving. It's going to be highlight and keep it moving. Jock and Nerd took the time again this year, just like they did last year, to do a breakdown, a nice little 1 minute each. They throw a title at us, and they try to transcend the genres. So I'm going to let Jock and Nerd kick off the meat this week of Mostly Superheroes. We're all going to sit back, relax, and listen to these guys tell us what they got after in 2023.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
What's up, Mostly Superheroes? What's up, crew over there? Logan, Giggler, Scotty Scoop, happy holidays. This is the nerd from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Thanks for thinking of us again. to include us in your 2023 holiday spectacular. We got everybody here and a special guest, and we're going to give you our favorite title, our favorite story of this year, and it could be anything. So, Anthony, Ruggs, guest, you guys ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with Anthony. Anthony, why don't you go first? Favorite thing you saw in 2023 or experienced?
So this has been actually a good year in terms of movies in cinema. Not for superhero movies, but for movies overall. You know, there's things such as Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Oh, yeah.
Did we have John Wick 4
John
this
Wick
year?
4, yep.
John Wick 4. We had Barbie. We had Oppenheimer. We had TMNT.
Yeah.
We had
Across the Spider-Verse.
Extraction 2. We had, Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good things. That's superheroes.
Yeah,
So there you go.
yeah.
We also had amazing things like the Marvels. Nope, just kidding. But the best thing that came out this year, and I'm a little biased, but the best thing that came out is a movie that came out and produced by Toho in Japan, and that is Godzilla -1.
Oh, snap.
Godzilla -1. If you have not seen this movie, this is the best Godzilla movie that's ever been made. One of the best Godzilla movies, if not the best Godzilla movie that's ever been made. You actually give a crap about the human characters. It's super well done, super well written. It's a terrifying Godzilla. It's easily accessible. The only thing is you're going to have to read some subtitles, but if you like good movies that came out of nowhere, this is the one to watch. I promise you will be surprised and you will enjoy this film. So Godzilla -1, best thing that's come out this year.
That's a good pick, and we just reviewed it on our show. So if you can visit jockandnerd.com or check us out in your podcast app, you can hear an in-depth review of Godzilla -1. Ruggs, let's go to you.
There's a lot of things that Anthony mentioned. Mission Impossible, that's great. John Wick's great. A lot of great things. Godzilla also great. But I'm going to pull Scavenger's Reign on Max.
That's a good one.
It's an animated series. Yeah. It's like watching a Kubrick animation mixed with Mobius. It's about a bunch of stranded people on this planet, and they're trying to survive as the planet's trying to kill them. All the the foliage and the animals, the monsters, all from the planet are just everything's dangerous. So it's great. You gotta witness it to believe it. It's good. Check it out. Absolutely.
Scavenger's Reign on Max is amazing. It's probably the best sci-fi that's been put out in a while. Good.
Absolutely.
I'm going to throw it over to our special guest. He joined us on the episode of the Godzilla -1 review, John Bellotti Jr.
Hey, guys.
What's the best thing you experienced in 2023?
So you guys named like a bunch of good movies already, and it's kind of hard to really add to that, but I'm a little biased myself, and there's a movie that came out from a small company called Toho, and the movie's called Godzilla -1, and it's really one of the best Godzilla movies, if not one of the best films of the year. I mean, we're talking Oscar contender here.
Man.
And I highly recommend you go out and see this movie. They just extended the theatrical run until December 14th, so you have a little time. Spread some Christmas cheer by watching the despair and trauma of the Japanese people post-war Japan.
Fun fact, Bellotti puts the ho in Toho. That's where they get it from. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go, and we already mentioned a lot of my favorite things. Across the Spider-Verse, runner-up. Gen V, a runner-up. That was fantastic. But I'm actually going to pick a book. You know, it's the thing where they print the internet on paper and they kind of stitch it together. The MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios. I finally finished this book. It's written by Dave Gonzalez, Gavin Edwards, Joanna Robinson. And if you love the MCU, if you've been following all the stories and the movies, you need to read this book. It's thoroughly researched. It's great because they go over all the things we have been talking on our podcast about for 8 years. But to have it in this concise, consolidated format, the story is amazing. The rise of this franchise is just compelling. It's a really easy read, even though it took me like 4 months. Should have been done a lot quicker. It is like 500 pages, but it's a fantastic thing, and I think it's my favorite thing I've read, just because there was so much good juicy stuff in there. So pick it up from Amazon and read a book, people. It's a book. That's it. Logan, gang, thanks for having us. Hope you have a great holiday season. And we'll peep you next time.
Talking Nerd.
I mean, how about that?
Yes. Wow.
These guys take the time. They're recording their pod, obviously. They're all, doing their thing, and they take the time. That was just for us, for most of Superheroes fans. Hope you enjoy that. A podcast in a podcast, getting very meta on you. But we love them. They're friends of the show at this point. I still nerd out hearing them talk to me. It's weird. It's like a podcast that you listen to a long time, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, Logan, what's up? Hey, Scotty Scoop. Hey, Giggler." Like these are longtime friends. Love seeing you guys do your thing. Go check them out. And ending on a book with Imran is a great transition to our best of category. The first one, books. Let's do books reading 2023. Everyone can have an opportunity to do a segment if you want, so keep that in mind. Best book 2023. There's not really a top book because this is the most obscure category. Everybody kind of has like one thing. So we're just going to highlight some, okay? Scotty Scoop, you're up first. Tell us about the Mistborn trilogy.
So I don't know if anybody's familiar. Brandon Sanderson. Nope. We're talking like high fantasy here. These are a little on the older side. I think the mid 2010s, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I started reading these when I went to my honeymoon in January, February. Such an interesting twist on fantasy and magic. Man, it's difficult to explain, but instead of just regular like magic, there's people in this universe, they ingest different types of metal, and it gives them different types of powers. There's some people who can only take one kind of metal and have one kind of power, and then there are people called Mistborn who can ingest like 14 different types of metal and have like so many different powers, whether it's pushing or pulling on metal, or moving really fast, jumping really far, being super light or super heavy. But man, it's about 2,000 pages worth of awesome.
Nice. Rating?
Rating, I would say 3.6. There is a second trilogy, and these books do kind of tie into a larger universe that Brandon Sanderson is building ongoing.
The BSU.
One of the best current fantasy writers going.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Scotty Scoop. The Mistborn trilogy is his best book of 2023. Next up, we have Katie Goodrich, a friend of the show, has been on the podcast. It's been a while. She's at Katie Saurus, K-Do-Saurus, on Instagram, X, all of it. She read The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi, New York Times best-selling author. I don't know anything about the book. I'm purely highlighting it as Katie's pick. Anybody familiar? Anybody read it?
No, but it's going directly on my book list.
Making it out, Scotty Scoop. Katie's got great taste. She's a talented artist. I guarantee you anything she's reading or checking out is pretty dope. So check out the Kaiju Preservation Society. Thank you, Katie, for reaching back out. Hope you guys are doing well. The Giggler had a book in 2023. Tell us about Batman by Grant Morrison.
Yes, Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Omnibus. This is one of the first one of these that I've ever bought, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just, I guess, maybe our Omnibus, they're just kind of shortened versions of the stories usually.
No,
right?
Omnibus is a collection.
Is it the full one each time? Okay.
It's usually more than you would typically get in a graphic novel.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm loving it. Just I really wanted to get into the comics of Batman. That's something I didn't really do as a kid growing up, and might as well start now.
And you read part 1, and there's a part 2?
Yeah, I think there's 3 total.
Okay.
It's just, there's a lot. You get a lot of see a lot of stuff with like Damian Wayne and those type of storylines. So it just kind of jumps around a lot, which I'm trying to get used to in comic form. So I'm enjoying it so far. I don't get into it as much as I can. I'm gonna take a break now with a new Batman 89 that I got, because it's basically has on the back of the book has like in that universe a Robin, a Two-Face. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool thing to read. So
Wow, that sounds cool too.
Keep you all updated.
Look at you,
on
a couple books in there.
Yeah, I love reading. These are the only 2 things I've read all year. So.
Batman.
I didn't
Is
even
that
find a real
Robin?
book.
Is the Robin is he black in that one? Because originally Marlon Wayans was supposed to play Robin when they were continuing
In
that
'89,
I remember
movie
that.
series.
I
Yeah.
don't think I could tell. I don't remember.
Oh, because that would be like a cool tie-in.
That would be cool.
I'll talk about.
yeah,
it
my
for sure.
my head went to like, who are they casting to? It was like, is it going to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah, because it was gonna.
I was like, who's a big '80s kid actor? There's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, we had also a book submitted by Steve Ewing. You'll have Steve will be thrown out throughout the rest of the segment. From the Urge, from Steve's Hot Dogs. His book was by
David Goggins.
David Goggins.
This guy's crazy.
Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. You know who this is? Give us a precursor. I don't know.
Famous like Navy SEAL, I do believe.
Right.
Who like some of his workout routines are absolutely insane.
Yeah, and it's about like mastering. I can't see it because of the Audible label, but it's like mastering. I assume like your
probably
process,
your body, fitness.
your mental health, physical health. Steve's huge into this stuff, so if he's recommending David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, might be worth writing down.
Yeah,
I mean this guy's kind of successful.
I'll put that on my list as well.
All right, I'll highlight a book as well. The Epic Collection, Silver Surfer Comics. Again, the Epic Collection by Marvel is stitched together with all the essential stories from the Silver Surfer in order. Some full comics, but some just like covers. They'll tuck in 10, 15 covers between 2 stories, so you're not reading every single thing, and then you're still in order when they bring you the next story. It was so fun. Felt like a continuation or an expansion of the ever great Silver Surfer cartoon that you can stream on Disney Plus. I think it's just 1 season, I believe. In 1998, it's older and it's kind of clunky, but it's not too bad. Epic Collection Silver Surfer, I'd definitely give it a 3.9. I loved it.
Z.O.
Z.O. Your boy Zoe. You want to highlight this one?
Oh, the Kobe. What is this one called?
Go ahead. Can you read
Kobe
it?
Bryant, Mamba Mentality.
The Mamba Mentality. How I Play Kobe wrote a book. I wasn't even aware before I got this, but it piqued my interest.
Yeah, I would like to read this. I don't know anything about it, but Kobe Bryant. I've been a huge fan mostly because of Zach. Like growing up, he like idolized him. Like,
nice.
Who's rest in peace. He's one of the greatest people you could ever idolize. He's one of the best humans that are around, and the world misses him. That's for sure. But,
yeah, and hard not to just react about the crazy circumstances of a helicopter crash killing him and his family and other friends.
Yeah,
like
crazy,
insane.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about this book, if it's like a biography or what. But I mean, Kobe centric anything is I'm here for.
And to me, I'm reading. I'm not familiar either. We're doing highlights. We didn't do deep dives on these. This looks like it's by Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Z.O. balls just like Kobe. So
there you go.
Total sense. It's his book.
Thanks, Zoe. Appreciate that. We also have one from Wyatt, aka Remote Control Wiz. Also, a lot of these folks will be featured throughout Dune. Frank Herbert, the book. If you didn't know, it's a book. And they have the movie. Part 2 is coming out. And our friend Luke Blackburn, huge fan of this series, lent me this book. And I never read it, just like when you lent me Invincible, I never read it. We try. Okay? Dune. You read it?
A long time ago.
You're probably the only one. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Dan? Did you ever read Dune?
No.
All right.
I haven't read the book.
All right, Wyatt says to do it. All right, guys, those are the books.
I got one book.
Go ahead, hit it.
Little Blue Truck. I've probably read it 100 times. It's about a little blue truck and some animals.
Is that from the creators of Blippi?
I'm not sure. It is a good read. You could probably read it in about 1 minute. But it's about a little blue truck.
Ari a fan?
Ari's a big fan.
4.0.
4.0 from him. Shout out to Ari, my man.
That's sweet. Thank you for sneaking that in. I think everybody got one. Dan, did you have a book you want to highlight? Anything you read? Any comics?
I've been reading. I haven't finished George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. It's the Chronicles of House Targaryen. It's hard to read because it's told from the perspective of a maester, like chronicling the history. So it's interesting, but then I kind of shut it down when I got to where the show is because I didn't really want to. I was like, I don't know if I really want to spoil this, and who knows how much they go with the show. But in lieu of the fact that the Game of Thrones books are probably never going to be completed at this rate, it was something to kind of fill the void. I'd give it like a 3.0. Like it's a good book, but it's not going to be for everybody purely in the way that it's told. It's almost like reading like a history book, which is kind of different.
Fair share, my friend. That's great. And that is our book category for 2023. Now let's get into some real fun stuff and some winners. Does anyone want to read the next category? Anybody want to? Ready?
Yeah. Best TV show 2023.
Ooh, best TV show. Are you ready? Gosh, I'll say it again. We had more people submit titles and stuff for this episode than ever before. I mean, 10 times as much as last year.
Oh, nice.
And it was tough to keep up with and manage. We got some good stuff in place that we learned a lot. Thank you, everyone that reached out. You're going to hear your name, and we're going to highlight some titles. Let's get right into it. We got the category, and we're going to lead to our winners. So first, best TV show for me, no surprise here, Loki in the MCU. Absolutely. Scotty Scoop, yours was Scott Pilgrim, takes off on Netflix.
Go watch it.
It's your best one?
Yeah.
My gosh, okay. Danny Patron, your favorite, House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. So great. That's your number one pick. We had the Giggler, Gen V. Awesome.
Thursdays were elite.
Thursdays were elite. And Steve Ewing from The Urge and Steve's Hot Dog says The Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix.
Check that one out.
Anyone? Nope.
I've heard
I
good
watched
things
it.
about that. I have not seen it.
It was good. It was good.
There you go.
All
All
good
right,
things.
that's his vote. Best show. He also we're mixing in some of our other categories because we're not going to do winners for every single thing we threw out there. So his best Star Wars title of the year TV was Andor. I mean, of course. I see Dan nodding. What a show. Season 2's coming.
So great.
Can't wait. Best TV show 2023 from Remote Control Wiz. That's Wyatt. That's W. Craher 13 out there on social. I think that maybe is his Instagram. Says Succession. A winner. I know Sam the Sleeper likes Succession.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Local artist Stephen Walden throws out The Last of Us. Don't forget about
so good.
Pedro
Always
Pascal. Amazing show.
Solid.
Video game remake that
Play
did
the
well.
games.
Yep.
Play
Love
the games.
Shanna Scoop. She also said earlier that Frida, your dog's going to eat that beef candle.
Oh,
We
for
got
sure.
earlier.
For sure she will eat that candle.
Shanna Scoop said The Crown, and she wrote a long review basically
I
saying,
bet she did.
watch this show.
I bet
All right?
she did.
Said, I watch it over and over. She loves it. This is her number one pick from 2023, The Crown on Netflix. And now it's time for the winners. Drum roll, please. I didn't put one in here. Woo! Third place. Give it up for The Mandalorian. I remember that show?
Yeah.
Yep.
Out of nowhere.
Exactly. And we had votes, we had rankings, so all this culminated. Everything that came in got taken into account. Second place is Loki.
Second
Wow,
place.
second.
Interesting.
Any guesses on the first place?
Gen V.
It's
Envy.
Gen V or something.
House of the Dragon?
Maybe a
Oh,
The
Last
Last of Us.
Wow.
Solid.
It was so good. I can't tell you how many times my daughter Tegan has rewatched this show.
You voted,
Really?
you commented, you guys told us this one recurringly was definitely the number one pick.
Did anyone? I don't want to get off.
No,
The Last
this is
of
it.
Us. Did anyone put in Beef from
Nope.
Netflix?
Nope, didn't
That
make
was
it.
kind of a sleeper. That did really well on
Never-
ratings.
that
I
didn't-
thought that was good.
Beef, okay? It's in the nomination. But nominations are over, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So next
Correct.
year,
But was it-
Sam.
did people put it in there? Did
No,
anyone?
didn't even see it once.
Not even once. Wow.
I've never even heard of that.
Beef?
Oh, yeah.
Ali Wong and
Ali
Stephen
Wong
Yeun?
and Steve, yeah.
Well, I
remember
think
that
we're
one.
really. What if they did this at the
I didn't
award
watch
show,
it.
guys? They'd be like, the Last of Us cast would just be standing up there waiting.
They're holding the award, and the guy was like,
"Oh,
Last of Us. Did no one watch Beef?"
I did. I wanted to I was
Some
since the winners aren't here to accept any awards. I thought it'd be like good to give like the biggest fan out of all of us, like the acceptance speech on behalf. Who was the biggest Last of Us fan out of all 5 of us?
It's probably me. I've played both games, watched the show multiple times.
You'll say a few
Pedro
words.
Pascal. I want to thank everyone on the show. I will accept this for Pedro and the crew of The Last of Us.
None of us
Wow.
can remember the girl's name.
What a great show!
Amazing.
Bella Ramsey.
Amazing show.
Oh, Dan's got it. What's the girl's name?
In the girl's name, Bella Ramsey.
yeah, that is
Yes,
Bella
sir.
Ramsey.
And that is your first
Perfect.
place winner, folks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Great
let's
show.
move our next big category. This is going a lot faster than I thought, so we could take our time on this next one. This is just too much fun, and we're still leading to a
We
big.
can spend more time on Beef if you.
Let's go back to beef, actually.
The Kanye of the show.
These candles got me thinking about beef too, though.
All right, does someone want to
And
read this
bacon.
one?
Best movie 2023.
Not yet.
Sorry.
All right,
Best movie 2023. On
Yeah.
time now.
on time now.
Never doing this again.
Best movie.
I'll take it.
It's all right.
It's all right. All right, guys. You told us there were some banger movies out there.
There's a lot of movies.
A lot of movies. You've heard about a lot of them. That's why I wanted the Jock and Nerd guys to help us. They rattled off a ton of them, but here's some more. All right? And there are some funny themes in terms of like the people that voted, some common threads. Let's just get into it. Scotty Scoop says Nimona on Netflix is the #1 movie you saw.
Man, it was just I read the book. I watched the movie with Lila and the rest of the kids, and man, it was just so good.
What's the premise?
Good.
Yeah, go ahead. We got time.
Premise is she's sort of a changeling monster who is really kind of like just a ball of chaos. And there is a hero who has been turned into a villain, and she's trying to kind of help him, but not help him. It's a fantasy setting, but in a futuristic world. So
animated or live action?
It is animated.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right,
so good.
Rate it.
Cool.
I mean, it's your best. It's a 4.0.
Oh, this is a 4.0 for me.
All right, Shanna Scoop says Avatar: The Way of Water, which it came out in 22. I'm gonna set the record straight right now.
Christmas 22,
I don't care when anything came out ever. When we do this award show, it's the best thing you saw this year. So if you saw Batman 1989 for the first time this year and it was the best thing you saw, that's what I want to know. For Shanna, it was Avatar.
That was a great movie.
So
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
When it was December when it came out, of 22
on Disney. So
video game just came out for Avatar this week, and it's getting really good reviews.
Yeah, it is getting good reviews.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Saw that. Thank you, Shanna, for that send in. All right, Shardell Lee Davis, big fan of the show, very active with us on Facebook and the socials. She threw out 2 movies: The Covenant by Guy Ritchie and Gran Turismo, which I did see. That's the live.
Nice.
That's like the true story, based on a true story movie about the Gran Turismo video game players that they do a contest to let them drive real cars, and like one of them becomes like maybe a driver. So without giving too much, Gran Turismo, I can say that was fun. David Harbour,
yes,
is in it.
Yes,
from Stranger Things. I have not seen The Covenant, but thank you, Shardell, for that. Appreciate you throwing those in. Josiah at Well Spent Brewing Company, our good friends here in St. Louis. 2 movies as well. May, December. Absolutely can vouch for this. Saw it like 3 days ago.
So did I.
Sleeper.
Are we on the same?
We're on the same.
I saw it like
me and you were riding the algorithm.
Seriously.
May, December, Netflix, Natalie Portman, and I can see it. Julianne Moore. Dude, this movie was so good.
It's weird.
Premise, weird, eerie, kind of like suspenseful. Both these actors doing their thing. Great cast. Kind of it plays on a situation where everyone knows the premise of older women, like teachers sometimes getting with younger boys, and kind of like all the opinions that come when you start hearing that type of story. Mm-hmm. This movie just kind of like has its day with that.
Wait, is this based on a true?
I don't know.
There is a story
exactly.
Very
this is like a novice telling you. There's probably they're like, this is a true story, bro.
Yeah.
Like it might
probably
be
a lot of those true stories,
or it might be like 10 true stories you've heard, and it's kind of
but
like
there is one where it's a young boy and they like live a life together.
Yes, and Natalie Portman's an actor that's trying to like learn about like what happened, and a researcher. Check it out.
She's gonna play her in a role.
Yes, it's great, and Natalie Portman's as good as ever in this.
Yeah, it's eerie. It's filmed in this weird style in certain parts. It's eerie.
Bottoms, that's the other one. This is from the people that made Pitch Perfect. I've never heard of it. It's called Bottoms. Josiah at Well Spent, thank you for throwing out these flicks. We appreciate those nominations. And Brandon Rogalski, friend of the show of Grease Masters, and also Steve Ewing, friend of the show of The Urge and Steve Hot Dogs. These guys need to hang out, I'm going to tell you, because they have like the same taste. Their votes were very similar, starting with their best movie of the year was Everything Everywhere All at Once. A flick that Scotty knows. Scotty, your boy Cecil loves this movie. Cecil, I didn't get you into the slides, but I'm going to give you a shout out right now because I know you submitted some stuff online. Hope you're doing well, Cecil. Everything Everywhere All at Once was Steve and Brandon's pick. All right, so then we are mixing in some Marvel stuff, right? What was the best Marvel stuff you saw movie-wise? Steve says Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Totally agree. Watched it just last week. Grease Masters, Brandon Rogalski says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This was the best Marvel thing they saw, and then they agreed that the best DC movie they saw this year, Brandon and Steve agreed, The Flash.
There was only 2.
I would say, how many were there?
The Flash and
The Flash,
Blue Beetle?
Beetle.
Don't worry. Yeah, there's more coming up. They'll get mentioned,
but
and not where you think.
They got it right. The
Oh
Flash.
yeah.
All right, best movie: Zoe and Remote Control Wiz Wyatt back in the fold. Oppenheimer.
That a boys.
Big old movie that people love. This is the best at third list. And the Clarks. These are my in-laws, Chris and Bill, which they made Carrie, so they top of the list. All right.
some of the best creators we know.
Some of the best made Carrie the creator. They say on Apple TV Plus, they tell us every time we go to dinner for the last year to see Coda on Apple TV Plus. It's a heartfelt story.
Did you see it?
I've never seen it still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really resonating with him there.
Yeah. But I know that I need to see it one day.
You're gonna get there.
And it's out there. Coda, Apple TV Plus. Chris, Bill, love you guys. Thank you for your submission. And best movie 2023 from Stephen Walden, local legend, artist, and also Breaker Mighty on Instagram. Agreed. Barbie was their number one pick of the year.
Wow.
Remember that little movie?
I haven't seen it.
We
Haven't seen it.
We didn't talk about it much, but I loved it.
There you go. Dan?
I haven't watched it yet.
2 out of 3
Girlfriend
people
saw
have
it,
seen this movie.
Really liked it. But
2 out of 5, actually. Okay. And we got best movie from Aaron Scott on Facebook, childhood friend of mine and longtime friend of the show, Five Nights at Freddy's. Great movie.
My 13-year-old would agree with this.
I saw it last week. I loved it. I think it's really fun. Like I don't see how you watch this movie and not have a good time.
I haven't seen it, but I'll probably watch it.
another video game property.
Yeah, so that was based on a game.
Very nice. All right, best movie from Damien, a.k.a. Dasher Man Was Taken on TikTok, says Past Lives. Anybody?
Nope.
I got the poster up on the screen. Got nothing. Past Lives. Past Lives. Thank you, Damien, for your submission. Love that you found a movie you loved in 2023. Francisco, a.k.a. Franchu1995 on Instagram, threw out a couple movies. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Oppenheimer. So getting some other favorites that are reoccurring. And best movie from 2023 based on Dom. Your boy. And you.
Oh, yeah. This is 4.0. No, almost 4.0.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Almost there.
That's your nomination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that movie. Everything I said still stands. I'll probably watch it another time before the year's over.
Nothing's changed in the last 15 minutes.
Nope. Still up in the rating high.
All right, Dom, thanks for your submission, man. Love hearing from you. And guys, it's that time. Let's get some drum rolls. In third place, best movie of 2023. Here, fix your microphone, Sam. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good.
You agree?
God, I cannot wait for the conclusion to this movie.
Part 1.
Yeah, just part 1. Like, let's go.
Blows your hair back, as you say.
Oh man.
All right, second place, best movie 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Very good. Very emotional. Yeah.
That was my number one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
very good movie.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. And this next one, anybody know?
Oh, it's Godzilla.
Spider-Verse.
I see a lot of guesses.
It's going to be one of those two. It's got to
The
be.
best movie,
Spider-Verse.
according to you, in 2023 was indeed Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Unanimously. When I say, I mean, not unanimously. That's a legit lie.
100% not true.
A lot of people filled these ballots out before Godzilla.
But I want to say,
Exactly.
say, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I did say, it was like half, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking like half.
It was so good.
Like everybody's saying this. I know Shanna. I think it was Shanna's pick even for number one. Maybe one of her picks for sure. Across the Spider-Verse, of course, and a lot of good stuff. Okay, guys, that's the best movies. We're getting to the end here, and we're getting to that special cameo we've been teasing out. But
Spider-Man is showing up.
A couple things. A couple things.
Tom Holland?
Okay, a couple things that are kind of like honorable mentions, or like think of them as categories for next year. Really, best video game. We didn't actually do this, so I just went ahead and gave first place to the Spider-Man 2 game.
It's a fact.
Because Andy, you played it, you love it.
Dan agrees.
Dan has played it and loves it. So
I will play it and love it.
Any other games that should be called out before we end the year?
I'll give 2. Final Fantasy 16. If you like that type of game, great action adventure, story heavy, amazing story, really kind of reinvigorated me in that series. The other one I'll bring up that's a big hit right now is Baldur's Gate. It is Dungeons and Dragons, the video game.
Yeah, I'll second that for sure.
There you go.
Baldur's Gate 3.
I think I'm like 70 hours in, and I still probably have at least another 20 hours to go. But it's like playing a D&D session. I can pop in and be like, I'm going to go down this rabbit hole mission, and all my characters are going to react, and the voice acting, the animation, everything is like so good, and it's true classic D&D rules. So you're rolling, like if you're trying to sneak past something or trying to convince somebody, you're like pressing a button to roll dice. You might pass or fail, and they've created so many different, like you can kill anybody, and there's all these backup programming things of where the quest goes to like this new person. Like it's truly an impressive game from Larian Studios. And if you're a D&D person, you gotta check this out.
Game of the year, just one game of the year on Thursday at the Game Awards.
Wow. Good job, guys.
So
nice.
Good. So good.
Nice.
So we got first place wrong?
Man, well, this is mostly Superheroes Award show.
Yes.
It's still one here. All right, thanks, Dan, for that. Appreciate it. And video gamers, you can see it's made it into the show. So 2024, tell us what you're playing.
Bring it in.
All right, how about the worst movie? Dan, you want to read it, even from afar? Hold on, let me give you some music. Here we go.
I can't see it.
It's worst movie 2023.
But I can't see what the...
No, I just told you.
Yeah,
I just told you.
that.
Worst movie.
Worst movie 2023.
All right, now say it after this.
Is
No, you just say it.
Cute.
worst movie 2023. I can't see
I
what
think
the
it was
movie
actually
is.
perfect.
No,
for this.
we got
can't
it.
see the
Yeah,
slide.
we got it.
You think you're going to be able to use one of those?
Yes, yes. It's all magic once I get into editing. All right, to make you guys look like superstars on the other side. If you ever listen to the show. All right, worst movie 2023. That's not like a 1, 2, 3. We threw out everyone. You got to submit some answers here. Okay, so we're gonna highlight those answers. And if you think of something else while you're here, by all means. From Steve Ewing of The Urge and Steve's Hot Dogs on Netflix, the worst movie he saw this year was Heart of Stone with Gal Gadot. Have not seen it, and that adds up for me because I never could quite hit play. Anyone else?
Never seen it.
The silence speaks volumes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Steve, thank you for confirming
I think
what we
just
already.
only watch stuff that I think I'm gonna like.
That's great. All right, what else is bad? From Sherdell Lee, back again. No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, I saw this pop up. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu or
Yeah, I
something.
think it's on Netflix.
And I once again never.
I couldn't get through it.
I mean, me and Carrie on the couch, right? We see this poster. This could make it onto the screen. It didn't.
I'm in the same
I
exact
watched,
same
like,
exact boat with you, sir.
A third of it, and I was
Just-
like, you know, I'm kind of over it.
Oh,
Turn it
man.
off.
Yeah.
All right, this is fun. Ending on a low note, too. This is great. Worst movie, Isaac Edlund of the Infinity Bros podcast. And the Infinity Bros are all over social media. They interact with us all the time. Isaac, thank you to you guys for always reaching out. He said the worst movie he saw in 2023 was The Flash.
wow.
Woo!
You must see some
Man.
great movies. for this.
Exactly. And this was literally the best movie for some people, so
Yeah.
you get like both sides.
Yep.
All right, Brandon Rogalski of Grease Masters said Blue Beetle was the worst movie he saw this year.
Wow.
Look at everybody.
I
had
almost
such
agree,
a good
though.
time.
See, I almost agree.
I can see it.
Look at this.
Not the
I
worst
get
one
it.
I saw, but I
It was
can see it.
campy. It was family.
It's
you
too
know.
campy for me.
I
George
could-
Lopez, too much.
I can see why people
He
think
was
that.
he was on like 11 for that.
Wyatt K of Remote Control Wiz. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was the worst movie he
I
saw.
almost forgot that came out, but I got a hard disagree. I thought that movie was fun as hell.
Hell yeah! I know, this is great. DC just getting the slap, and it's not over yet. All right, so worst movie. Zoe says You People on Netflix was the worst movie he saw. You People. That's Jonah Hill.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's in there.
I haven't seen this.
David McCulvney or whatever his name is.
Duchovny.
Duchovny
From
from
the
X-Files.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, that
I
was,
saw this, and
it's a little
I
cringe.
can see what he's talking about
It's
for
a
sure.
little cringe.
All right, and then I think this is my favorite. I think it's the last one of my favorite. Oh, no, there's one more. That's my favorite.
Old dad.
Old Dads is from Zoe. Was that? Oh, no, it was one of them was Dom, one was Zoe.
I bet. Let me. Hold on.
I have to go back.
Dom probably was Old Dads.
I think Dom was Old Dads, and that's with Bill Burr, and it's on Netflix. Me and Carrie watched this. I thought it was fun. I had a good time. I thought it was nice, but
Yeah.
I can totally see. I also thought of parts like, man, this is not as like Bill Burr as I thought it would be. It would be kind of seems like he played by the rules a little bit.
Decent laughs, at least. Hopefully.
Decent laughs for sure.
Okay, I'll get in it.
All right, and then the Giggler hasn't even come out yet. He says the worst movie of the year will be Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom.
I'm just getting
I'll give it
ahead.
up for it.
I'm just getting ahead of
Just
things.
getting ahead.
Yeah.
Smart.
I should take
It's-
bets. Is it gonna do worse than the Flash?
I
think,
mean-
I think 100%. I think it's going to do
Yes.
worse than the Marvels. I think it's going to be laughable
I agree.
no matter what happens. I think they're.
I mean, the first Aquaman made $1 billion, guys. $1 billion.
That's insane. That number's crazy. And it's also shocking how many DC things made it up on the worst list of the
Yeah.
year.
Was,
Maybe-
was
maybe-
Black Adam 2023?
No,
That was the year
No.
before.
I think
was
yeah,
last
it
year.
was.
Can I put it on my list for 2023?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's on there.
if you want.
Last call for worst movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for submitting those. Really appreciate it.
I got one.
Go ahead, Dan.
I don't know if any of you guys saw it. Ghosted with Chris Evans and
Nope.
Ana de Armas. It's on Apple TV Plus, and it's like an action comedy where she's like a secret agent, and they meet at a farmer's market, and he like goes on a date, and then he's like trying to find her, so he creepily like somehow tracks her location, and she's in the middle of a mission. And it was supposed to be like a funny action comedy. They spent a ton of money on this thing, and the humor never hit. The action was corny and over the top, and then towards the end of it, there's just all these random ass cameos in like in the big like culminating moment, and I'm like, what is going on? It was my girlfriend left and went to bed while we were watching it, but I'm the type of person, I'm like, if I've started, I gotta finish it. So I'm like, I'm gonna finish this. But it was a huge disappointment, because I was like, well, I like Chris Evans, I like Ana de Armas, and
Who doesn't
it
like
was
her?
I was
I
like,
was
they'll
gonna say,
probably have
that's
good
not the right
chemistry.
there.
And I
know
You guys are
it
gross.
was not good.
Hey,
not
I-
good.
Chris Evans.
Yeah. All right. I thought
Am I
the sa-
wrong?
thanks, Dan, for sharing that, because it did
Yeah.
pop up on my screen, and is the same thing. I like Chris Evans. I like this girl,
Mhm.
and Carrie
Don't
and I
waste
look at
your
each other,
time.
and I'm
This
like,
girl.
I don't like it. We can never hit play. You know what I mean? Like, you would
It's-
think like that would be it, like an Apple TV Plus movie. Like, it looks fresh and crisp, but like I never hit play on it. So
It's not good. It's not unwatchable, but it's not good.
I fell
At all.
asleep in the middle of it and never finished.
Yeah.
So
best concert 2023. Let's go around the table. Who's got theirs locked and loaded? Wants just to get it out. Sam the Sleeper.
Let's go. His name, you might have heard him, Jelly Roll.
Woo!
Not my type of guy. Generally, I was not like, my dad's a humongous Jelly Roll
Oh,
fan.
we know.
Oh yeah.
From the event, from
Yeah.
the cornhole
First, like,
tournament.
First hour and a half is just Jelly Roll. I'm like, hey, DJ, Andy, you wanna start playing something other than Jelly Roll? He's like, your dad told me to play Jelly Roll, and I'm like, let's not listen to him anymore. Just went. It was my dad's birthday present. Tickets to Jelly Roll. It was a blast of a show. Good people watching. He's an excellent artist, to be honest. I learned a lot of his songs in the lead up to that, and it was just a really good time. He did stuff on the side too, like he was when it wasn't his material, he was doing Afro Man's. I forgot what the heck the song's called.
Oh yeah,
because I got
because I got high.
Yeah, and then he did
because I got high.
Colt 45. So I mean,
Two zigzag.
yeah, two zigzags. You know, it was like just
Cool.
bangers left and right that he doesn't even normally sing. So it was a blast.
The guy's blown up too. He just won like a ton of
Yeah.
music awards. He's been on everything. He really, the first place I ever saw him was on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast.
Same,
with like
same.
Will and Taylor had him on the bus, and I was like, "Who's this Jelly Roll guy?" Flash forward a year and a half, and he's
Yeah.
like a megastar.
He is all over the place.
He got-
I actually can't even I don't even listen to it that much anymore because I've listened to it so much in the lead up to that concert and after the concert. But still, he is good. I mean, there's probably some haters out there, but
Oh, hey, haters are gonna hate.
haters gonna hate.
haters.
They hate us because they ain't us, I guess.
Fair share, man. Nice concert, Dan. Patron, what you got?
I'm gonna go with Guster. They're my favorite band. They came here to Dallas at a venue right up the street. Smaller venue, kind of pageant size. So it was awesome. Took my girlfriend this first time. Now I do want to give a shout out to the small no name artist who somehow won Person of the Year. And this would be my girlfriend's best concert. Her name, probably never heard of her, Taylor Swift.
Oh,
and
the football
Eras
girl.
tour.
The football girl.
Yeah.
Travis
yeah.
Kelce's girlfriend.
Yeah, Travis Kelce's girlfriend. Nobody's probably, not too familiar, but
Nice.
that was definitely Emily's best concert of the year, and she told me best night of her life.
Oh,
I said, thank you. I feel great about that.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Emily. Feel like we've now kind of officially met via that
Yeah.
review. She's on the pod. She's got reviews on
Oh,
the
yeah.
pod. That's when you
He
know
is a Swiftie
it's happening.
through and through.
All right, Scotty Scoop.
Just a few honorable mentions. Took my kids to the first Point Fest. Great time. Coheed playing, always a great time seeing Coheed. Tenacious D was a great show. But I think my favorite one has to be the one we just went to 2 weeks ago.
Oh boy,
The Urge.
The Urge. Oh man,
really,
Steve.
really brought me back to the old days.
At the
man.
pageant.
They sounded great. The show was great. Man, what a great time.
Giggler.
Shut it.
I do have some honorable mentions as well that I need to throw in there. We went to the Black Keys. They had a Evolution Festival in St. Louis. That was a good
nice.
one. Black
Yeah.
Crows were there too.
Oh
That
my
that was nice.
But PC Mike, the Black Crows, that's his favorite band.
Oh yeah, The Urge was a great one as well. The pageant. I've went to a bunch of comedy shows. That's not music, but
That's fine. No, live
that's
shows.
been a big thing
Live shows.
that me and Steph have been doing this year. We saw Matt Rife and Pete Davidson earlier. We saw Pete Davidson earlier this week. It was amazing, hilarious. But number one was Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was the most
Where was
packed.
that?
It was at Riverport.
Oh man.
Most packed I've ever
Hollywood.
seen. Hollywood Casino, amphitheater.
We
whatever.
speak to the past and the future
It was
on this podcast.
The most packed I've ever seen. It just reeked of weed the whole time. We sat at the very back.
You said reeked?
Oh yeah, it reeked. It reeked.
Mm.
It was nice.
Reeked is typically like smell bad.
Smell.
That's okay. Sorry, that was the bad word usage. But
I was like, I just can't. I'm trying to picture you going like PU.
yeah,
Like no way.
Gross.
Okay.
Then yeah, Nelly made an appearance. That was pretty awesome. I've never seen him like live perform, and as a St. Louis resident, that should be on a bucket list there. So
Hell yeah.
checked it off.
All right, and I'll go last. I'll mix in Carrie's as well. We saw a lot of shows this year. Most shows I've ever seen in 1 year, for sure. Some highlights you've heard, some you haven't. I saw Explosions in the Sky at the pageant. Coheed was a top contender, and Incubus at Point Fest earlier in the year. Saw The Midnight in Chicago. We went for my birthday earlier this year. They were unbelievable. And honestly, seeing them at the pageant, I feel like, was that earlier this year or 2020?
No, that was 2022 for sure.
That
I
shows
was there for that.
That
one
shows
was so good.
And it still sticks out. That show still sticks out to me. Carrie's favorite show of the year was in Mesa, Scottsdale, Arizona, seeing Better Lovers, the new band that's been born out of Every Time I Die. One of the bands, actually, I should say. There's a couple bands that have come out of Every Time I Die, and Better Lovers was, Carrie was out of her element. I had never seen her rock so hard, in her element, I should say, out of her mind. It was so fun. And then my best show of the year, man, it was like, it really came down to a couple. And I'm still like, even now, like, I'm like, I know the top two in my head, but the Wild Feathers at the City Winery was just really a beautiful experience. Like one of those intimate shows where the sound was great, and they showed up, and there was 100 of us in a room, and they just were up there doing their thing, playing, their greatest hits from the last 10 years. The Wild Feathers, definitely top. And then I think Coheed will take it from Point Fest. Just seeing them play, a treat to see Coheed in general. I was a newcomer via Scotty Scoop really for a couple years now, and seeing them and being surprised by Vaxxus too. Like that album is transcending like maybe my favorite album again, like this year. So great concerts, great shows, live music. Go support it. Sam Sleeper.
I think we'd be remiss if we, you guys might remember the little event you put on Screen and Social.
Let's do it. Samba Bomb.
Yes.
Hell
That
yeah. And we saw them. I saw them the most out of any band this year. I think I saw them live like 5 times.
Enjoyed the hell out of that. I'm like, this event, for whatever reason, if they were not playing, it just would not have been as good. It was such good background, good to listen to, solid.
SambaBomb.com. They have shows all the time. They're playing cool venues across the St. Louis area and beyond. You can book them just like we did, and you can see them. And thank you for calling them out. Has to be on the list.
Has to.
Saw a lot of good shows this year. A lot of good music. Go see your live music. Support your favorite artists. Support your local venues. It's a good time. And guys, man, that's a nice high note, pun intended, to end on. Surprise cameo time. You might remember last year we did a little surprise and we brought you somebody from Cameo. Well, we've done it again, folks. Mostly superheroes splurged, and we got us a real star.
A real star.
They've always been real stars.
Logan.
Once again.
Logan Levi Janice.
He didn't sing for us this time, but he is now a knower of mostly superheroes. He's a fan of indie podcasts. You've seen him around a lot lately, but from the past, you recognize him from Burn Notice, Anchorman, as of recently, Gen V, and even The Boys. We're talking about Mr. Adam Bjork from The Boys, PJ Byrne.
Nice.
What is up, mostly superhero fans? PJ Byrne, a.k.a. Adam Bork from The Boys and Gen V. You know I love me some indie podcasts. They are the absolute best. Gang, gigantic Season 4 finale, holiday spectacular. 4 years of this show. Over 100 episodes, I think is the math. That's epic. So let's wrap up a great Season 4. And Season 4 of The Boys is coming out. Ironically, you're wrapping up 4. We're starting 4. Exciting. Some magical stuff is coming your way. Adam Bork is up to some more crazy, cray things. Maybe some more movies. I don't know. Am I allowed to say that? Probably not. But I don't know. I didn't give a full answer. It's very vague. And maybe some more shenanigans with the head of Vought International. She's a lovely lady. A lovely gal. Colby Minifee. I love you guys. Please enjoy the big boomin' Season 4 holiday spectacular finale. It's my honor to be here to send you all this to the mostly superhero fans. Cheers and have a great holiday season. I'm out.
Nice.
PJ Byrne, you didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know. Dan didn't know. Reactions. Hit it.
Love that.
Love that guy.
PJ.
I want more of that guy.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's
Like,
I only named a fraction of what this
let's
guy's in,
vote
by the way.
somebody off the show and just replace him.
He's listening right now, I bet.
He's
100%
in.
he's listening.
PJ
Hey, PJ.
Byrne. PJ, thank you. He did it real. He took his time, and he really gave you fans a special shout-out. We hope you appreciate that. The Boys, man, this is the show that I'm talking about, I think, in 2024 as the top contender. Probably the best show that's going to come out this year. So excited to have PJ here. And he's in more stuff than I've ever mentioned. I mentioned a few of the big things. This guy's in everything. Look, go check out PJ Byrne, all the great stuff he's in, Gen V, The Boys. Anybody else? There you go. There's your star.
Let's go.
How about that? Give it up again.
I need to see that list. See what movies he's in. I'm going to watch those.
I know. I've just seen him everywhere.
You have. It's one of those guys.
Yeah.
You see him everywhere,
that guy.
and he's hilarious in The
Character
Boys.
guy.
Making the 7, Dawn of the 7. He shoots the movies, and he's in Gen V again. So good. All right, that was a great episode.
Wrapping it up.
I'll laugh at myself here. All right, coming up, 2024, we're going to be doing it again. Watch for 10 to 20 banger episodes. We're going to have more interviews like what you saw at the end of the year, and TV and film for sure. Movies that you can look forward to. We're going to rattle them off. Thanks for the help. Rotten Tomatoes, Deadpool 3, Madam Web, Dune Part 2, The Mandalorian is a TV show. The Penguin's a TV show. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Godzilla, and Kong. Furiosa, Mad Max, Bad Boys 4,
Inside Out.
Inside Out 2, Twisters.
Ooh, Inside Out 2.
And Alien, Kraven the Hunter. That's coming. Beetlejuice 2, Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, Folie à Deux. Spider-Man, Beyond the Spider-Verse, Venom 3, Sonic 3, Mufasa the Lion King, and Wicked Part 1. Lots of movies.
Is that
That's the musical.
the musical? Okay.
Yeah, the prequel to Wizard of the Oz is going to be a movie now.
All right.
Here's some other TV shows because we mentioned a couple. 2024, Echo, True Detective's coming back with Jodie Foster. The Boys season 4, of course. Fallout on Prime. The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. That's with Rick. Yep. Agatha All Along. That's MCU. The Acolyte. Dan, there you go. There's your Star Wars. Daredevil, Born Again. Will it happen? We'll see.
No.
Skeleton Crew, Star Wars again. Welcome to Derry, an It TV show.
Interesting.
Stephen King. Zorro.
Those movies are great.
Remember Zorro? It's back.
Nice.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, exactly. Army of the Dead is coming back. That's Zack Snyder, right?
okay.
Las Vegas. Creature Commandos is supposed to come out. That's DC, James Gunn.
That'll be the first James Gunn
Release.
Oh.
Yes, please.
animated.
Also animated. Spider-Man freshman year. We didn't talk about animation MCU. What If is coming in December.
Okay.
Don't forget about that. That's this month. Season 2. Spider-Man freshman year is a series, animated, MCU. Tomb Raider show.
Interesting.
X-Men 97.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
And that's MCU. Waller, DC. That's James Gunn. guys, this is supposed to happen. A lot of this will change. We'll keep you posted. And that's the podcast. Mostly Superheroes 2023. Let's do roundtables and goodbyes. Danny Patron.
Been a great year. Loved every minute of it. Congrats to you, Logan. Some true, landmark moments this year with the Screen and Social. I loved all the guests you've had on from Well Spent that you guys went to. Steve, with the hot dogs and the music, like really, diversifying what people could expect from the podcast. So congrats to you. Love seeing you boys. Always look forward to this. I think as we go into next year, Dune is probably one of my early things I'm most anticipated for. I love the first one and can't wait for the next one. And then my all-time most anticipation for next year is definitely going to be Ghostbusters. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. It has its highs and lows, but I grew up on that cartoon, loved it as a kid. And then, I love the movies and can't wait to see that. I will be in costume in St. Louis for the premiere. I go with my cousins. We dress up, have a couple drinks. It's a great time.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Fair share. Thanks for the kind words and everything. I agree with, man. We'll do it again in 24 and keep doing fun stuff. Can't wait to have you back. Team Jakey, Sam the Sleeper, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. What a year. I got to be here, I think 3 times this year. So
more,
anytime.
More, I think.
Maybe. I'm losing count.
Yes.
And anytime I can be in this 4th chair, I have a freaking blast. So 2023 was a great year. So
Sam, what was your biggest snoozer movie this year? What was the one that just kept knocking you out?
That's tough because I almost have PTSD from Black Adam, but I just want to keep calling Ted Adam. His name's Ted.
Ted.
I just keep wanting to say that, but that's a good question, Danny.
Black Adam's what I heard.
Yeah, I really think it's gonna
keeps trying to watch it.
I'm gonna take the cop out because I did try watch it in 2023 with Missy because I was like, you got to see this. You got to see what I had to go through, and then I didn't make through.
I can't believe that got a whole episode.
Yeah, and then maybe a true answer, and I don't even know when the movie came out, but I watched it in 2023, The Mummy with
Brendan Fraser?
No.
Oh,
Mummy, maybe it's just called Mummy
with Brad Pitt
with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I watched that. I snoozed through that. That was
man, I love that movie.
I just
love
couldn't
Tom
do it.
Cruise.
But no, I'm looking forward to 2024, and it'd be neat to be in this 4th chair some more.
Yeah, it'll happen, and we'll see you at our events and
Let's
crossing
do
over
another
outside of the pot. Let's do another one. Yep, absolutely. It's gonna happen. Scotty Scoop.
Oh man, what a great year! So many memorable things. I just want to touch on one of my favorite things from the year. Probably, I got married, folks.
Woo!
Got married,
baby.
That was the year. This was the year.
We're actually rolling up on the anniversary here in January. So, man, what a good time! Lots of great episodes. Got to meet one of my favorite rock stars, Steve Ewing from The Urge. Man, it was so great. Thank you, Logan.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
really
very
great
much.
time.
No, you're part of this show and part of this family, and it was fun to see you get to nerd out and have that moment.
Hell yeah.
It was a moment. I know. I paused. I did. I really appreciate it. Giggler,
Love it.
man, my boy. What
Thank
you got
buddy.
into the year?
Next year, I'm definitely most excited for Deadpool 3.
Mm,
Probably throw in the Penguin in there too, because I've been wanting to see the advancement of this Batman universe with Pattinson. So throw those on there. But this year has been amazing. I love the new things that we've been doing. Looking forward to see how that changes throughout next year. It's been awesome to be kind of connected with these great people in our community, including like recording at Four Hands. That was just a really surreal experience.
Super cool.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm thinking that next year's going to be.
you enjoyed the episode.
I think next year's going to be a little like slow on the content and stuff, even though that's a lot of stuff we just listed. But
right.
Comparatively,
what are you talking about?
We're talking about
own content.
The worst part of this year
exactly.
was the writer strike, 100%.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's going to have ripple effects, and maybe 2025 we're going to see like shit's going to really pop off again. So we'll be busy. That's for sure.
Thanks, buddy. Well said. I'll wrap it up here, guys. Fans, 4 years. PJ Burns said it, over 100 episodes, and you go through 100 of anything, and you will stop and ask yourself, do I actually enjoy this? It takes time to produce these things. We are indie podcasts, and the reason we've been able to have such great momentum this past year has been because of really awesome people. that seem to be digging what we're doing and reaching out to us. And that includes fans and patrons that are paying us for exclusive content. Our subscribers across all of the channels have all spiked this year, and we've had way more people writing in than we've ever had. And then locally, just we live here in St. Louis, and it's my home, and it's been good to me in a lot of different ways, and it's where I met my partner, and it's where I've met all of these great people that are sitting here. And then to see the city and the community open their arms to Mostly Superheroes as not just a podcast. I think everyone can feel that. Anyone that's in part of the show we're definitely got like a little community here that's kind of just seems to me like is about making sure that your life is as good as it can be and lifting each other up, because we all know when each other are down. And hopefully this podcast has become a release for you to come and tune out maybe some of the noise in your life, have some good camaraderie. That's what we're going to keep pushing for in 2024. Huge shout out and thank you to Julie Lally at Insight Rocks, who took a notice of our podcast and plugged us right into the media cycle in St. Louis area and beyond. And that is a huge reason for those great interviews that you saw, calling out some of our big episodes. 10 episodes this year in 2023. Like, this was season 4. And we are really proud of the 10 that we put out, including this one. So it's time. If you're a fan, you've been enjoying the program, and you're seeing the quality just go to another level, that's going to be exploding in season 5. And we've decided this is going to be a forever thing. Like, I want to do this as long as I can. As long as I can goof off and make this show with you guys and knuckleheads and good friends and go to shows, go to concerts, talk about our movies, our books, things that we like in life. That's what we're going to keep doing. So Steve Ewing on the podcast this year from The Urge, Sam the DM, the Dungeon Master, Daniel Drake from Anthromancer came on the pod. We had Chris Killian from comicbook.com on the podcast this year. Like, we had people writing in and sharing their feedback, and then even bringing in big cameos like PJ Byrne. We hope you appreciate the big names. Hope you appreciate hanging out with regular folks like all of us, from Andy, the Giggler, Scotty Scoop, from Sam the Sleeper, from Danny Patron, from Carrie, from me, Logan, and all the folks here at Mostly Superheroes. Happy holidays. Have an excellent time. Enjoy, hopefully, some time with loved ones or yourself doing what you like to do, and expect even more in 2024. Go to mostlysuperheroes.com. We've spent a lot of time making our website the home. Our online home, when you're not enjoying the podcast, is mostlysuperheroes.com. And you can do everything you can think of there. Get featured on the podcast, submit a What You Watching, a Whatchu Sharin'. And you can also advertise and sponsor episodes just like Team Jakey, The Gramophone, Peter Klopstein, Realty. These were some of our sponsors this year, and even more opportunities to partner with a podcast talk show next year. So go check it out at the website, anywhere you're listening, anywhere you're watching, and we can't wait to see you next year, because that'll be it. We're going to take a little break. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in, and take it easy.